يلا بسم الله. الماب فراكشر من اختيار. قاعدين نشوف ابريم من سمثينج سموك نفس التشكيلة. اوكي جينغريز حبيبي، جينغريز جي يطير. PRX ضد NRG. بدينا ماب ول من اختيار NRG. PRX بادي ديفنت. يلعبون سولو انيشيتر، لا يلعبون تو فورسيكن سكاي.
What's relevant is
Breach.
this opening group stage win here against NRG
Killjoy
here at EWC.
من دبي.
All right, well we have PRX on the defensive
بما
side,
أن هناك يلعبون
on the attacking side, looking over
تو
towards the top
دولست.
so far.
هنا عندنا دولست واحد جنك.
First up will be Jing.
سلام جنك. اوه تريد شغال. اللي ما صوت بيتقفل المسمو. خلينا نغير العنوان.
Yeah, broken scuba. Trying to contact their way upstairs. Out comes the guiding light for Forsaken and pushes them away nicely. You had the sky smoke invested there for something. Just no opportunities given for NRG to be able to get back into that round.
Should be a pretty tough one here, Scuba. Let's see if he gets something for his money to end this round. Looking over to a PRX.
اقصد يعني ببيع.
HP here for Scuba as well.
Tapping away with the bandit.
اوكي يبغى يطلع بكمبت. اوكي على السريع بس يا عيال. يلا اللي ما صوت راحت عليك ها. اللي ما صوت. واحد اثنين ثلاثة قفلنا. يا ساتر. مجزرة طبوا كذا خمسة سوا. سموكات اللي تشوفها بالرانك. أنا مو غلط. ما بما.
Information game knew exactly where NRG were coming from and had the perfect utility in the perfect positions. Saying that though, for NRG, not much in that one. Just a handful of pistols. Down of Divide going forward, and now PRX into what looks like a pretty clean bonus round. They've definitely got some punching power here.
اوف شوف البنقات شوف البنقات. شوف البنقات اللي قاعدة تجيك. بيبشون السايفر. اوكي اخذ انفو سكاي. ديفاي ماسك ليه سولو. يلعبون أربعة هنا.
Yeah, progression smoke for NRG over on Arcade. That'll be given to them. They're looking for the lurk here of Scuba.
عرفوا ان سايفر سولو والباقيين هناك يبغون السايفر بك. السايفر لازم يروح مع روب. راح. عرفوا العلم. اوكي. Something. Forsaken. واو يا البونس راوند.
This bonus round looks like it's theirs on a silver platter.
Yeah, I mean, I expected even that Envy was going to get something. He gets found early, but the rest of the players Forsaken ready to be able to trade.
حلو الستاك حقهم والله.
So, you know, a little bit more.
أبطال.
In terms of
إنهم
damage being
يسلمون
done,
السايت
but
التاعي
most really got up 2 players to
لعبهم
revive. You
أقسم
take that
بالله.
bonus 3-0 NRG.
جنون.
After a bit of a rough one
جنون
to
إنه
start
يسوي
with.
جامبل في سايت هو بونس في النهاية. فعنده لو باي فيستك خلاص.
PRX you can see already looking pretty locked in. Smiles on the faces is exactly how you.
استعجلوا والله في الراوند اللي راح ينرجي للأمانة. استعجلوا.
Getting close to a lockdown as we head towards the first gun round. Same for a showstopper. All of these big impact ults are very much.
الحين قاموا يلعبون ديفولت.
Wheelhouse if they can get towards round 5 here for
بما إن
PRX.
PRX.
He got one away as well. But unfortunately, just doesn't quite have the equipment
يا
and
خاف الله
the
بنفسك
ultimate
يا برم
not to be able to use in this particular
برم.
round.
سيف
Stemmed up Forsaken taking advantage of that one.
سيف.
Not expecting too much here. Rifles versus nothing. Forsaken earns his
يا أخي
ultimate. We're
برم
just
والله إنك
getting
برم يا
prepped
سمسم.
for
والله
the next
والله
round as
مو
well.
جد. يحط
He's been taking
السبيك.
whatever he can out of this map.
جنك تستهبل لو ذهب بصلي بشر.
Often liable to do, and despite a dink in from Ethan, that is a flawless anti-eco for PRX. They are really running away with this game with a bit of a landslide to kick things off, but can only imagine NRG will only wait so long before they actually start
عشان
to crack
يحل
through
الموضوع
with
حق الاتاك لازم يلعب صح. اللي هو انه يلعب على ديش كنترول واركيد. تمام. يعني باختصار اشوف السايفر يحط كامه هنا يلعب اركيد والباقيين يروحون دش. اوكي عكسها حط كامه يشوف الدش وهو بيروح اركيد الباقيين اي. لانهم هم يدرون انهم هم دائما يبشون فيبغون يفايتونهم هنا. لانهم هم اذا اخذوا الكنترول وهذا اللي شوف واو يا اخي اذكياء ان عندهم قاعده كنترول الاي لازم ناخذه نحرمهم من ذا الشيء. السالفه غير حاجه كان قدره
Still 3 players alive for NRG, so work to be done here. They can get
on
site for now as most of these PRX players have fallen off somewhat, minus something which is in play. He's got double. What a unbelievable spray transfer. He'll die for it towards the end, but the rest of the players, no issues there for PRX. 5-0.
الماب من اختيار مين؟ مو من NRG يا عيال؟ ما اتوقع. عموما بصل ارقام عندي.
NRG not quite able to get comfortable.
Yeah, but Nightfall also earned by Ethan.
Towards the dish early on here for PRX. Once again, it's the guiding light up over the top of Arcade, but that's only really there to condition NRG, who are starting to walk their way into A main and take some map control.
Yeah, first time we're really seeing anything through halls. Let's see what we can sort of find here as PRX wanting to make sure they retain control of Rogue's information found. And okay, decent kills. Mana and Kiko finding their mark here. This is 5 versus 3. The first big opportunity for NRG, we'll say so far in this entire half.
Fault line a jump spot from Envy. NRG finally starting to organize themselves well and punish some of this aggression in the mid-round from PRX. Puts them at a pretty massive advantage. Spike will be scooped up there by Brock to join up with the rest of NRG to have taken this A main control earlier, but Forsaken and Envy are already on this A side of the map and Device on the rotate.
Yeah, he looks like he wants to move off, so it does still have plenty of util to relay back it towards B. Nightfall coming on in, taking no risks here. Envy will be spotted. Flash as well, he's got no chance, but a better flash potentially against NRG. And Envy now will be able to at least trade his own life. 1 versus 4 now, Divide with a lot of work to do. No ultimate and all of his util still left over towards B. Was not going to get a single shot in there. Scuba will find his head right out of the smoke.
Yeah, nice adaptation from NRG. Punish all of that mid-round aggression and then just keep things simple. Pivoting back to where they took that A main control earlier on in this round. So a successful timeout. That will help them steady their economy going forward, because they're going to have to make their way through a lot of gun rounds against PRX, who have had a bit of a blinding start here to Fracture.
The Smokes there also cutting off a couple of players from PRX, making sure that the breach of Envy was going to be isolated, despite a pretty good flash coming through from him against basically all 5 from NRG, who some around on that board. Nightfall the only ultimate spent as well, so pretty cheap in that ult economy side, you'll say. Is let's see what we get done from NRG back over towards Arcade.
Yep. Forsaken on over here, trying to disrupt this one as the runner back comes in. Gonna throw out his guiding light, but Kiko is all over it as see the dash in from Marta. In comes the orbital from NRG just to try to zone them away, but in the meantime, you've seen Envy be able to at least pick up one and deal with the runner back as something is pressuring the bottom side of the map.
Okay, what can Scuba do here though? 2 players in front of him. With PRX really off-site, should be a free plant. Scuba, oh, he needed to hit that. Cage should keep him alive for the time being for a little while. No support here for Scuba, so he just needs to be able to hold this on his own.
Oh, instant one tap from something though. That does not feel particularly good for an NRG, who are now getting ulti dumped on the side. Out comes both the breach ult and the Brimlock. Kiko's been able to find one, but that's a nice flash to set up something. Brock inside a tower. Very low here. The lion's share of the work has to be done by Kiko as the Brim Molly tries to delay the plan for a little longer.
Workable. 2 versus 2 now. Operating have a divide. Maybe not the best in terms of weaponry for this. First tap on the spike. All fades. Device are looking for targets. Something on the Brock. It's just Kiko left alive. He just can't quite hit, and something. Doesn't even matter that he's not on a duelist. He'll find the aim. He's got the sharpness of it. Saw how sharp that was up against Scuba. He'll make sure he'll finish up the last 2 players of NRG. And despite the spike being planted there, no dice for the round.
Yeah, very nicely navigated by PRX. He pushed bottom side through A main right from the get-go. I think this opener was fantastic from Kiko, using the runner back just to be able to set up NRG for success, but PRX mid-rounding their way out of a bad situation. The ulti combo on that site really helped them kind of narrow down where NRG were playing the post plant from. And then something 9 and 2, just a phenomenal multi-frag from him.
And even the utility usage, I mean, you look at the orbital strike, completely isolating Ethan. You had the nade coming through, paint shells from Jing, followed by a flash as well. Now something Just going to fire a couple of shots into halls, but here come the rest of the players. Almost had a collateral there. No theft now from Scuba to reveal the rest of the members. The rest of the members are coming in nice and quick for PRX.
Scuba inside of the cage. NRG fighting hard in towards Sandside, and they punished the flood so nicely. Read it with the neural theft, and they knew that PRX really wanted to try to get in and take that fight before the spike even went down. It's all down to something, and he wasn't ready for Scuba to have slipped through already onto the A site. A second round for NRG.
Seems like the 2 rounds NRG have gone so far have come through from the fact that they can find some punish early, particularly over towards, you know, that's A side of the map. Find those early picks, handle the flood coming in through from PRX, and sort of twice in a row for the 2 successful rounds. That seemed to work out for them. B, on the other hand, has been a bit more of a worrisome part of the map. They've recovered 2 here. They can at least get 4 to 5. You'll say it's an okay half for them, but otherwise PRX looking for that 7 to finish up our first half to make sure they're in the lead.
It'll be a big round for NRG. Money is starting to get a little bit dry for PRX after their landslide of victories to open up this half. Starting to run out of cash here. Op picked up by Marta. Hasn't really had a chance to get involved in this game. He's often just been dashing in and refracting in on the entry. Ethan's taking dish here. A lot of moves being made on the map by an NRG, who is just waiting for a reaction from PRX. Forsaken looking for information with the Trailblazer.
We'll see just the one. Kiko, not really too much information there so far. A lot more movements starting to flow over from both of the teams, you'd say. Well, Forsaken wanted to make that play happen. Not going to be the case now. As time starts to run out, that smoke comes down just as Marta had the line of the op.
Jing v Scuba on the bottom of the map does not go well for the Rays, unfortunately. Scuba really keeping that A main push in check, and I dare say that this is going to prompt a little bit more aggression for a PRX who just don't really have any info on what's happening on the map. They've got the A info line, but that's about it.
I mean, that's his huge kill, because now PRX have to commit a little bit more over to the A side, something waiting. But as time starts to dwindle, it looks like NRG will be finishing over towards A, just something to slow this one down. Rest of PRX wanting to stack over towards B. And there's the first spot. Okay, Molly to slow it down. Haunt wall spot him, and they already knew he was going to be there. Conversion pass, you shouldn't expect too much from something here. A little bit more aggression though from NRG, because they got to get the spike down. Time is running out here, and Forsaken's causing problems. The Vi is still there as well. Stops the plant from coming on through, and that just isn't enough.
Yeah, Kiko really needed to win that last tool. Lockdown invested there from the Vi just to be able to keep things interesting, and if he was able to win enough of those tools, could have really created some magic for PRX. But as it stands, unfortunately, NRG capitalizing on that nice opening advantage that they had, grouping up together, and even with the clock running down, they've thrown the kitchen sink at that round. They understand just how battered and bruised PRX's economy was, and winning that round is phenomenal for them to start to make a bit more of a resurgence into this first half.
Barely any time left, and they have to get that last kill, and Devi falls just in the nick of time here, so still trying to rescue the scoreline a little bit. Is going to be NRG in first time. We're going to see PRX really in the eco. Haven't really seen their money run dry just yet, as they want to get aggressive over towards the bottom side of the map. 3 players stacked up so far, and NRG walking to the turret.
Yeah, just Devi here. Doesn't have too much help. Mollied out of position, not much for him to do. Over on the bottom side of the map, though, that's a nice opener from something. Trips now down. Rifle looking to be picked up. Guiding Light will enable that, and Paint Shells even to push Ethan away. NRG set up on the side, but haven't got the spike down just yet.
Okay, well, here it comes now. One go to Jane, guess what? That's ultimate ready to go. Be sure that that could be a big one for this round as well. Something's also one away, but might even be playing for exits here if they're going to play this one slowly.
Soaking up on the line, tapping away. He knows kind of where Kiko is, but not quite able to deal with him. The Seize is going to slow him down. PRX not really making too many moves elsewhere. Aggressive play punished. They're very much keeping NRG pinned into this site. In goes the showstopper. Molly on the spike from the attackers, just trying to buy time and time PRX out of this round. Showstopper invested. Envy is on the defuse. Something up inside of the smoke. Wrap around there from Ethan, and Marta closes it out with 2 outlaw shots. Spike goes off. How many NRG players will survive at the end of that round? I couldn't tell you. But that definitely would have gotten expensive for them.
Showstopper kind of gave away false info there as well, because I think Jane thought he had cleared tower, but not to be the case. Throw that one in there. Dealt a bunch of damage, but no kill actually coming on through. You see how slowly PRX ended up playing that round. The fact that they were even in position to actually make a play for the defense, though, that's got to show that they have the capability.
Yeah.
But 4 now found for NRG.
NRG.
Very patient.
بيرجع.
Money fantastic for NRG.
من اللي سمح لهم؟
But they've definitely made a big dent in this round deficit that they accrued early on.
أنا جيت الحين بيقلبها
Things
بيركز.
down on towards the bottom side once again.
عندهم
Ethan trying to
سكايلت.
create a little bit of pressure
عندهم
towards Dish on his
الحبيب
lonesome.
something قلت. عندهم توالت والباي تمام. اها. فيوب.
Helped a little bit by Forsaken.
واللعب ديفولت بدي يدفلتون صح.
Last 2 rounds of this half as well. NRG looking to scoop them both if possible. Still plenty of decent ultimates on the side of NRG. First bit of information now finally coming through. Does Marta have the patience to get the shot?
Now comes the Seekers, going to layer in a guiding light there and recognize that there's at least a couple of players over here. Saturate goes on in. Very tight line for Forsaken. Gets legged out by the op as the Prowler pushes him back.
Okay, Nightfall coming on through. He'll catch maybe one player, not quite perhaps Forsaken, but he managed to dodge that one out in time. And the rest of PRX now slowly moving on in. First duel, Forsaken wins it, Scuba down. Onto site now, Divide trying to hold this one. Brock on as well. Spike on the floor, by the way. Doesn't look going down to Marta. Some damage come through from the orbital, and NRG is still pulling through.
فورسيكن كيف ذبح ماذا؟ لا ما ذبح اللي فوق احسن ما ذبح.
The runner back is gone.
Careful here.
Ethan needs to scoop up the spike here. 20 seconds on the clock. Molly going down. Kiko with the late wrap over through onto Sand. Deals with something. It's just Jing by himself. He knows the spike hasn't gone down. It's an awkward exchange here for NRG, who are investing all of the Phoenix util just to be able to cross. Getting up close to the Blaze Wall here. Satchel trying to cancel the plan. Not quite able to do it. That's going to go down for NRG. Now they're just playing this crossfire off of Ethan.
Yeah, this is going to be so hard to do. 1 versus 2 through the wall. Double swinging. Jing doesn't even get a shot off. Dangerous situation, and we sort of remember the round where Divide ends up going down just before the time runs out, and Jing has to be very careful we're not just delivering his own life away before the plant comes on through. But a difficult 1v2, but yeah, we're really getting into the weeds of NRG's comeback on this first half now, because it were down by quite a few rounds.
Yeah. Look at that, 4 in a row. Very good resurgence after the tactical timeout. Got to give a lot of credit to NRG there. PRX now really being made to sweat here on Fracture. Keiko has got the Outlaw, juggling that with the Vandal. Maybe kind of rethought his purchase there as they're really trying to isolate. Scooper on top side. He's made it out of dodge though. Investing the
المرشح البطولة الكثير والله.
speeding up on the other side of the map.
Yeah, Scooper's going to get crunched on, and NRG will make some moves now after hearing all of that noise. Still, look at Forsaken. He wants to go for the chase. Scuba's about to make his way onto B, but despite the rest of NRG looking over towards A big flank though from both Jing and Forsaken that NRG have to be a little bit careful about. First up Marta versus something. Smoke starting to fade, and something will get that shot in first. Ethan, no response.
في حبه.
It's very tense here. Forsaken's found another one. It's a bit of a landslide of
يا عيال الولد ده مستلج.
in on this retake. Brock still alive inside of the side. Gonna drop the orbital. Hits 2 players from PRX, but unfortunately Divide with the last second shot, and Jing ready for the flank of Scuba. It's a 7-5 here. PRX with their no.
Ethan also Brock.
فريتك ما تأهل لعب تصفيات البطولة ولا تأهل.
Stomping away. Ethan almost caught on the cross.
Okay. Smoke to try and slow things down. Stun to cause a couple of problems. When do we get the explode? Finally it comes on through, but just into the meat grinder. Both Ethan and Scoop getting all the kills. Brock likes Dink into the kill as well. Not just Divide. He has the capability to get those kills. He got the first one of this potential clutch, and he's got another as well. Divide versus Kiko, and Divide's got the hot hands. And I'm not talking about Phoenix here. Kiko's the one playing that. Has he got the capability?
Mike hasn't been tapped yet. Kiko knows he could take his time with this one. He's looking like a little bit of a raid boss with the bandit and armor. He's got a lot of util to work with as well. Curveball and a molly. Divide really waiting for a mistake, but he's the one who has to make the first move here. Turret's back up. I think that's what he must have been waiting for.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds. Spike will be easy here. He doesn't know it, but he doesn't quite know where Kiko is standing and waiting. Kiko just waiting for plant at this stage. Turret will be the one spotting him out first.
Spike planted.
As the molly comes on through, and Divide with the 4K and the clutch. Instant
والله مجنون يا Divide.
That one on Tomato. He'll finish it onto Kiko for another pistol for PRX.
Yeah, you're kicking yourselves as NRG. They rotated so well despite losing that opener on Tomato inside of A main. They were ready for PRX's execute. They had a big crossfire on the side, but Divide very sneakily able to construct himself a 1v3 on that A side. He opens up the round for PRX and he gets it done by himself.
The smoke coming down from Brock, and then the meat grinder, Scuba and Ethan just doing work. But Devi coming on through and just diffusing the scenario. We get another early pick. It's martyred down again. Unfortunately, something is just going to make mincemeat of him. Ethan will at least get the orb away. That's all that NRG will get so far.
Trailblazer does at least find the buy onto Scuba. 2 players spotted out over on that B side of the map, so you're going to get the pivot back across. Something quite happy to sit in dish side. The rest of PRX relocating to the bottom side to meet up with Kiko.
He's going to have to hide there, and that should be a little bit of info, but do they know it's the exact corner? They absolutely do. They see the hands. This will be easy. Yeah, shouldn't even lose a single player to Kiko despite the wonky shots from Jing. Now the crunch over on towards A. Brock to try and hold on to this one, but Pistol not going to do you too much good. Easy 9th round here for PRX, 5 versus 2.
PRX مختار فراكشر.
Might not even lose a gun. Indeed, they don't. 5 rifles brought through into the bonus is a very, very good position to be in as PRX. NRG once again going to have to play the opening part of this half from behind. So we'll have a look at how their first defensive gun round does look, but I mean, they were quite resilient in the first half, so have to give the benefit of the doubt.
The real worrying thing was the fact that PRX
أنا عارف بس يوم جاء الماب مكتوب فراكشر بيك NRG.
In that first half, and for NRG, wouldn't want that to be the case again. An opportunity here, potential for Kiko to at least drop 1 gun down.
غريبة إيه مع إني ما أتوقع
Honestly,
NRG.
when you just have the classics there, it's a little tough. See what the bonus looks like for PRX this time around. NRG really wanted to win the first gun round of this half. Prowlers will get their mark.
Know that there's
اتوقع لان فرنسا صدقني الامور هذه المشاكل الاخراجيه ما كنا نشوفها. كنا نشوف تك باز من اللاعبين اوكي بس كاخراج وتصوير بس عادي اول يوم نشوف ديفاي كيف شال اثنين.
PRX is, they can just abandon B at this time as well if they want to go towards A, but they'll slow things down. They'll say let's recommit, force the rotations from NRG first. Devi can even go for a little bit more if he wants to. But on the other side of the map is Envy and Jing. Yeah, they've just completely dominated. So we're seeing the first half Groundhog Day here for NRG. Just can't win that 3rd round.
يو كم لي ما شفت كروس هير زي كذا.
There was a player hanging around outside of A, confirmed by the Prowler, but Devi has just been on one. He's having one of these games. Been in some excellent form as of late. When he takes over a game for PRX, there's just really not much he can do. Trying to hold onto his rifle. Not spotted out by the guiding light.
Just wants to save, my man. Just wants to stay alive.
Down and out.
He's been spotted. Devi, he's going to go for a little bit more. And, well, just saw the back of the player. Brock at least shuts him down. Devi's got locked down either way. He'll be happy with that one. Brock's going to convert another kill.
Yeah, don't feed him an orbital. He's only 1 off at this point. If he's able to get 1 more kill, he'll have it. And I think his respect has been earned here as PRX hitting double digits. Not able to bring as many guns out of that round, but when you win the bonus, I don't think you really care too much.
Yeah, I mean, you got so many rounds in the bank at the moment in terms of where this lead is going. You got Ultimate starting to come online as well. You got Devi winning a 1v2. Oh my god, that just cannot happen if you are NRG. Would love to see if we can get a POV of that one, but NRG taking their 2nd timeout now, and I think they need it.
Yeah, and see what they're going to construct here around this singular save Phantom. Got to be some level of investment here for NRG to try to keep things interesting. They did manage to take some guns away from PRX. They'd love to do some more economic damage.
اوكي صح يعني بس يبغون يسوون اللي انت هم مو بخسرانين شيء معهم فلوس.
PRX will be up 11-5 here on Fracture, and
شوف ما جرب لي الديفاي هذا المصيبة.
From if you're NRG, given just how strong PRX have been looking on this map lately.
And this is the PRX
EWC
out of the starting gates and into the immediate sprint. We saw them take in London in the grand finals, just dominating on the opening map. But this one is definitely more competitive, but at the same time as well. PRX are here for a reason.
وين أليكس يا عيال؟
This map away and get that immediate 1-0 in the spear.
كاميرات المدربين وذولا شكلها بتجي في البلاي اوفز.
Can't have a slow start for either one of these teams. You would be honestly a little bit upset that this is the opening game of EWC. It's a very stacked tournament, of course, but PRX and NRG would probably be a game we'd be expecting pretty deep into the playoff bracket.
Well, half buys coming on through. Obviously, Brock did save over that 1 rifle. See if he can be the hero for this particular round.
Main taken again by NRG.
Okay.
Lockdown being invested on this B side of the map. PRX playing it very slowly. Not quite rushing into B by any stretch of the imagination. Showstopper now picked up by Jing.
We'll see what they still have to clear once the lockdown has concluded. Obviously, we can see that NRG are going to be late to the party here a little bit as Jing wants to start that party. He'll go down, though. Doesn't hit anyone. The showstopper again. It's Marta and Ethan getting on the board here. PRX are left hurting. They're the ones with the guns. And still NRG come out ahead on that one. Not Scuba, though.
والله ديفاي حاشرهم
to land these clean shots.
Isolated him nicely. Utility invested. In comes the Nightfall, though. From NRG, trying to complete this retake in from Gen side. Envy disrupting. He's got a nice crossfire in with Divide, but that player on the site has gone down. Divide now known. Something on the wraparound. Could have a really good flank time here as we head into a 2-on-2. Kiko, that's a huge pick to be able to get across to the site. They know exactly where something is.
Something!
The movement is a little bit too good. Much needed for PRX. And NRG will be kicking themselves, Kev. They put themselves in an excellent position there post-timeout.
And they barely had any equipment. They came through with the lesser money, just came out of the timeout, start with a 5 versus 3, ends up being a 2 versus 1. But unfortunately NRG just didn't quite have eyes.
كأنه something جالس جنب ديفاي مو بالعادة صح؟ بالعادة something يكون طرف ولا ماني عارف. لا ولا هو هي كذا تصدق؟ ما أدري.
And these are the moments that will just set PRX aside ahead of the others and far ahead of NRG so far on this map.
Put a dent in the economy of PRX though. It was
عارف إن انفي في الطرف انفي مع جينك صح إلا صح.
Out comes the C's there in combination with the orbital. I think that's just going to kill one player outright. Ethan following up super nicely, and again it's a 2-man advantage for NRG.
So this time you're hoping that NRG will be able to navigate this 5v3 a little bit cleaner, but Divide is still alive. Something's still alive as well. Two of the biggest fraggers so that we've seen in this particular map, particularly Divide. So the opportunity is still there. You can start seeing some clean rounds.
Jump spot, curveball to follow up. Everything going the way of NRG until something steps into the limelight, which is a very similar story to what we saw in that last round. PRX volleyed off. Too much fire in the way, and they're going to pivot across the sand.
They burn some defensive utility away from NRG, but they themselves on the PRX side is still left wanting here. It's something going to cause a little bit of noise, might cause a little bit more. You start to see Forsaken take the spike away, so it might end over towards B, but for the time being, something wanting to sell this one. Won't sell it for very long because of neural theft. As NRG themselves will start to make their way onto the opposite side of the map. Still going to get past this trip.
Forsaken still with the trip nicely. This is a winnable 2-on-3 for PRX. Ethan in a great position in a crossfire with Scuba over on Heaven's side. Ethan very low, but Scuba playing off him nicely. Out comes the run it back from Kiko, but it's not even needed. Scuba getting it done himself, and NRG capitalizing on a 2-man advantage that they weren't quite able to in the round previous.
Still a dangerous amount of players end up going down there for NRG. Just goes to say, you know, even with 3 for PRX, still very highly capable. 5 versus 3 and 2 will survive for NRG, but they get the round, importantly.
Yeah. Let's see what we're going to get here. NRG have got a lot of work to be doing, and you can see that the money's starting to get a little bit battered and bruised for PRX. Couple of rifles to mix on here. Orbital and Seekers at the ready as well.
بيلعبون ديفولت بيلعبون
Thunder one away. It's a big round for ultimates.
بس والله ونبل معهم جنك معهم 3 رايفلز. بس عندهم باي نكست رايحين واك يعني فيكوا فيكوا يوتل فيكوا يوتلين اوه اوكي فيكوا يوتل هنا
doors open. Kiko on the Jing first.
بعدين راح واك.
A lot of pressure coming through from ropes, and looks like PRX still want to challenge this one, but they're just challenging into their own deaths. At least Envy is going to make his way over towards the site and get this plant. You'd imagine if he goes for it in a timely manner, but currently 1 versus 4. NRG will be able to pick up another round.
You can see the elbow. One off the Rolling Thunder. Peppered away through those smokes on spawn side, and Saturate doesn't quite connect. That gives him an opportunity onto Ethan, but the crouch peak is a little bit faster. That is 4 alive for NRG. And 11-7 honestly is not
صراحة غريب ما شفت كل جوي بيك متوقع بس مستغرب ان NRG ماخذين سايفر بعد بف كل جوي صراحة والموليات هنا بفراكشر بتفرق مرة.
Yeah, could have been a dangerous round as well. I mean, we saw the trap set up over towards ropes, but an opportunity for PRX if they were able to make their way into sight. They do nibble on that hook. that was put out there, wanting to really challenge for ropes as we get into the timeout here for PRX. Seeing what ways they can just buckle up for these last 2 rounds that they need to finish up map 1.
ايه بف سيفر كويس ما اختلف. بس احس كل جوي هنا مهلكة ومتعبة اكثر للاتاكر. فهمت؟ مو انه سايفر ذا، لكن حسيت ان نيون ما عاد صارت تلعب بكثره مثل قبل، مع انها تلعب. فحسيت المتى فينيكس غيز هنا مثلا في ماب فراكشر، فتحس سايفر سهل انه يلعب لواق كسر ترب، وذا نادر ما الناس تلعب فاست بوش في ماب فراكشر، يلعبون ديفولت. فحس فاليو كل جوي في الديفند اكثر من سايفر كفاليو، مو انه سايفر ما بالعكس. خاصة هم يعني اتوقع ماخذينها وهم عارفين ان تيم بيركس فول دبليو.
Absolutely, that's what I got my eyes on as well, and they're already prepping themselves for a BXQ. Mara looking to disrupt. What an excellent guiding light though, and NRG are just bumping into each other. Curveball as well as the Prowlers just trying to zone Paper X away. So a little bit of a standstill in the mid round here as Paper X look to pivot back to 8.
So a lot of util being thrown back and forth, plenty of flashes, and Mara will be the one that ends up falling there. As Forsaken will keep things busy over on the B side of things, including the Seekers. Wants to really sell this one, but slowly Scuba's making his way over. Brock's sniffing something through here as well. Not too sure where the direction is, but will just cover drop for the time being. Clears the sight. Scuba's first down. Trying to dodge away from the ult, but running to the hands of Divide.
Yeah, he got to get the timing there. Brock spamming away. As Paper X have done a really good job this round. Kiko, though, applying some pressure from the flank could start to cause some problems and throw a spanner in the works for Paper X.
It could have been really dangerous if something was still alive here, but now A-main control being taken away. NRG working their way up, still have Forsaken to clear on the top side as well.
Great stun. Honestly, still peeking down for Brock. Just jiggling away. Honestly, that's a decent haunt. They know where Paper X are playing from, but killing them is another story. 1v1 here for Kiko.
Kiko versus Forsaken again, the player that was unknown for the time being, and Forsaken will run the clock down. He's going to start making some moves away, but as the spike starts to get diffused here, he's almost looking to just stick this one, but that's going to be half so far. Time is running out. Forsaken's just going to run down the clock. Still gets a headshot anyway. NRG put that one close, but the 12 is still found regardless.
Every single one of these rounds, even if it's like a 3-on-5, every XVX is so incredibly close.
ليش؟
Felt like Scuba definitely had a decent time. He dodged the rolling thunder so nicely, peeking
ليش ما كانهم مو براضين؟
I'm surprised he doesn't even get one there, and that is courtesy of Divide just being able to hold every angle, playing patiently exactly when it's needed. 22 kills for Divide. He's got a lot of help from the rest of the boys. I mean, whenever Jing is on the raise, that's who my eyes are on, but honestly, he's not needed to do a whole lot this game.
Yeah, I mean, when Divide's killing everybody, everyone else is just kind of scrambling to see what pieces they can still get in there. Speaking of which, Marta would like one of those pieces on his side of things, Operator on the defensive side.
هذا كم سنسة بالله
It's a similar kind of story here for Paper X.
واو يا الحشرة.
Util combo onto Ethan.
أكل قنادر.
That's an opening pick for a Paper X who have a little bit of control towards A main. Kiko once again has to overturn this round in the favor of NRG, pushing Forsaken off the line straight into the open arms of Marta.
Marta's in there. Kiko's in a little bit deeper as well. Burns his ultimate, the runner back nice and early, but guess what? PRX are gone. Nobody's home. On the other side of the map now is where we got to play.
Marta scaled in. Orbital won't catch Scuba if he's going to play in that little corner there. He's dodged it nicely. This has to be hard cleared here by Paper X.
Yeah, Scuba's in a great spot. Do they see him? They do, but they don't quite get the kill just yet. Jing, though, wants to send out the rocket. He'll find Scuba. Still, though, players looking down for PRX and NRG. 3 versus 1. Jing has a lot of work to do here, and this is looking like it should be a good round for NRG now.
Anticipating a flank on top side, but he won't be given any reward for his patience. It's one off the paint shells with a satchel to work with here, and this is very winnable. Both Brock and Marta are a little bit worse for wear. If anything, it looks like he's saving.
Economy's not good. Look at the money. 200 in the bank for Jing.
Players,
I would have expected him to go for it. I'm not going to lie. It's Jing.
He does have a good round leading. You know, it's 12-7, but
that's very sensible for Jing.
Sensible and Jing, something we'll have to get used to. Or maybe not. We'll see how the future rounds go. NRG clawing back.
Another lockdown for PRX in the back pocket, though. 4 more needed to push us through into overtime. Definitely doable for NRG. Mario's having a tough time getting into the game, though. I feel like he's taking this arcade line a lot of the time, and he's constantly getting pushed away.
Yeah.
I think this tower side play has been very successful for PRX. Either they're catching the waylay. Last round, they caught Ethan with just utility. I'm surprised that, honestly, NRG was able to recover from that. It was courtesy of a great hold from Scuba. Pixel perfect positioning. Doesn't get caught by the orbital. That's what you want to be seeing from your own Cypher on defensive fracture.
Talk about arcade. I mean, that's where NRG want to put the pressure again. It's Marta once again on that line, but Tree is where PRX will start moving out from. That Prowler didn't get to see much, so good information for Ethan.
As he execute over towards B. Ching. Straight on in towards Canteen. I'm surprised he's even alive. Brock has found him. This is just not going well for PRX, and Kiko was undiscovered. Nice reaction onto the buy, honestly, and Brock has got him back. This is just going nowhere fast for PRX.
Yeah, Jing had no HP to work with there. Now Forsaken has to do a lot, and he can't just something doesn't have the gun. So he's here to just maybe get a couple of shots in there.
He just wants one gun. He's just jiggling in the corner. Mollied out of position. Nicely done for NRG. A great anti-eco to give them their 9th.
شكرا يا بلو. الله يعطيك العافية.
Chipping away at it.
أنا 1600 دي بي اي.
NRG getting a string of an hours.
بس 0.1 يعني 2 تقريبا. 0.97.
Like it just keeps slipping away from them.
Yeah. Yeah, all 4 timeouts used in regulation, giving NRG the respect that they deserve. These two teams relatively familiar with each other, even if it's been a little while since they last played.
Goes to show that NRG not out of it, despite how behind they were on the rounds.
Totally
both halves.
I mean, PRX have had phenomenal starts to both halves, and yeah, I totally agree. I think NRG have been pretty good.
Puckett's just handed me a drawing of the US flag, so he's feeling it right now. He's back in NRG all the way, and well, 3 more rounds. Puckett might just be right.
Yeah, maybe. The, I guess, onus is on PRX to close out this opening map of Fracture. It is their map pick. Left in the veto by NRG. Will have known that PRX will be liable to be picking that, especially with how good. That will be the timeout elapsing. Let's see what PRX have drawn up here. Do still think that they have the lockdown in the back pocket.
Yep.
So that's going to have to be something that they're considering for NRG. I mean, they have the orbital to potentially cancel that later on in the round. Don't think that's something they necessarily want to have to do, but if it comes down to it.
Last time we saw the lockdown, Devi used it quite aggressively on B side, just from the tunnel.
Again, pressure on the bottom side of the map for NRG, and conversely for PRX, very much just trying to make some noise over towards Arcade. Dealt with, and Forsaken going to make his way into unders.
Marta patiently waiting for Devi as well, who
يبغون غلطة.
reminded Devi got a double kill.
يبغون غلطة. بس هم ما خاب ظني مسلمين السايت.
Couple pings going on towards.
يعني قاعدين يلعبون ريتيك ومخلين فينيكس يفايت الحالة.
Dangerous for PRX.
Marta changing up his angle of approach. He is very much on his lonesome here. There's a couple of kill trips on the side, but that's about it. Jumps one out from the line is perfection. He's just being given nothing.
Yeah. Has to think about saturating that one potentially, but he has to exit regardless, and throwing a shot out there, but still low HP. Nightfall coming in defensively. Ethan arriving to help out the fellas of NRG on this defense. Oral has well been dropped into smoke.
Something in the meantime. The players in Sand are starting to get in the mix. Marta out of the side. Scuba stepping through the smoke. Checked nicely there by Forsaken. Even if something goes down, and this will be the lockdown, just trying to zone Kiko away. Make sure he doesn't even have any chance in hell at closing out this round, and he'll have to respect it.
Yeah, minimum. He's going to have to wait this one out. And then he's got to clear absolutely everything. Turret in Sand. Alarm bot in Hall. Obviously, Kiko doesn't have to worry about that part. But he does have to worry about walking to the high-low. Envy and Forsaken ready to go. They know the positioning now, and 3 of them will swing at the same time. No chance for Kiko.
A lot of info, and you're going to have to be put through your paces, working the map a little bit more.
Well, let's kick this one off.
اقصد مو بلوتس اللي خلصوا لوتس مع طب ليش الاغنيه؟ خلصوا لوتس بس لوتس اللي قبل شيء حق فيتاليتي. الحين لوتس ما بنرجي مختاره المين ستريم اللي احنا نبغى نشوفه. يا ما ادري شنو هذا. ما في شرح للتشكيله كوبي بيست كل شيء زي بعض من السموك من السنتينل من الدولست. اللهم
Like I said in the pre-show for this map, he needs to step up here, and he has at least.
تيم NRG يلعبون تو سموك فايبر بما ان تيم PRX يلعبون تو دولست غيز جت سولو سموك. لكن both
NRG going back for second helpings. This is a bait set up for the player behind the double stack as something is just diving and dancing around the mound right now, trying to tap down some of these players with the ghost. Starting to run out of ammo here and dealt with by Kiko, but can Envy be the savior of this round here for PRX?
Yeah, he's hearing a lot of stuff right now. He's got one backstop kill, catches Kiko out with his hands on the smokes, but it's Brock and Scuba with the door open, able to get those trades.
اقسم بالله ازق سيناريو ممكن تشوفه. كان يمدي يكون
fairly winnable. We've seen Divide already get a clutch on that previous round. A map of
اثنين منهم بدي واحد، اثنين منهم بدي يسويها. ديفاي ان شاء الله. سكوبا 1 بروك 1 ايثن 2 بدي الباقيين 1 بدي.
Courtesy of Ethan, Arkrose is back up as Divide. Not sure if that's something you might want to place to try to find some information here. Ethan, first up to bat, does try to pepper down Divide, but he's been allowed to cross into the site, completely surrounded. You can see Brock wrapping around through Waterfall side. It's probably not something you'd be expecting. Arkrose has been invested onto the site. Divide creeping forward, but surely should get caught on the cross here by Brock. Not quite.
He's still in it for now. First tap on the spike. Arkrose already used. Positioning pretty open here. Double peek from NRG would be strong. Time running out is a problem, and a double peek will in fact come through Ethan.
يلا بنقفل.
No clutch this time. Mada happy with that opening.
Yeah, perfection there for NRG, just giving Divide absolutely nothing. I mean, his respect has been earned well and truly by that 1v3 he put together in the second half pistol effect.
ارحب شيب يلا حيه.
Explosive start to this.
اهلا وسهلا هلا
Not going to be happy with that one.
نورت البث.
NRG
يلا بنقفل. الحق اللي ما صوت. ما بتو من اختيار NRG ها؟ 5 4 3 2 1.
Connect those shots over towards Mound, and Envy probably would have liked to have gotten one more kill than just the shot he found at Kiko. Rubble side, all 5 up for NRG. And PRX here to match as well, just about 4 members. The first kill onto Forsaken. Okay, Mada once again, first blood, 2 rounds in a row.
Dealt with over on Rubble side.
يجيك السونق العمر.
Similar to what you saw from Ethan in that last round, but none of these classics are having any impact. NRG doing a really good job just pushing his anti-eco away. Divide with a sheriff in hand, rotating in through spawn side, wants to try to trim down the numbers.
ديفاي يا الله اني قلت بيسوي شيء.
You cannot be doing that. Okay, that's a problem. Especially if he gets another one here, but disgusting shot so far and something in there as well. They've just turned this one around.
Player standing.
Good pick from Brock or something.
والله ترولوا والله. وين جبتوا ذا والله يلعن
right now to complete an eco win in what that was a 2-on-5.
Yep.
That was a 2-on-5, Kev.
I cannot believe that. Oh, the stars lined up. Couldn't have had a more perfect situation. Something receives the last 2 players who have no idea that he's there. I mean, he was about to get 1 freebie, and the second freebie was like, yeah, thank you, yes, I will.
That is brutal, man. I feel bad for reacting because we're right in front of the players. I'm sure they probably...
Mate, we are the only audience they've got. I mean, I just lost myself with dividing those 2 shots in a row.
I almost fell to my knees, I'm not going to lie. Regardless, though, Forcefight does come in here for NRG. Prowler going forward, and PRX are very much fighting for this.
Hey, my
casters falling to their knees in the EWC arena right now. The only audience that these 2 teams have got themselves. A nice TP in. Oh, Envy, you should have hit that one. That was almost free. 5 versus 4. They want that kill back. And Jing might just be able to get that kill back. Sees players, sees a spike on the floor, and Jing, okay, looking for number 3.
واو اوكي يا شيخ PRX قاعدين. اقول 2-0 قالها الله. الا اذا عاد
Looking to continue
ويسك
pushing the
روح.
issue. Jing is now on for the A. Showstopper earned. And Kiko, who opened up this round so nicely with the little bit of a shrouded step.
هي في السعوديه
crouched
شيب
Jingle
فرنسا
into B.
في اللحظات الاخيره يعني قبل البطوله الكلام كم 3 شهور غيروا
NRG
الليله.
trying to throw a little bit of a Hail Mary force buy into round number 3 after a shocking eco defeat.
باريس نعم.
Or anti-eco defeat, rather. But I just don't know there's anything that Kiko can really get done here. PRX with a gorgeous shutdown. And this is what we were talking about. We wanted to see a little bit more from Jing on the race.
صح هم خسرانين لا تقلب المواجهه. في واحد في الشات يمكن يكسر الشاشه.
Seconds left.
انا وانا
Respecting the
ماشي
fact that still early days here, I want to secure the economy, not do anything too silly.
نسيت صح
Kiko just wants to save the rifle, and
ما يبغون يعطونا ليس.
the hunt is on for what it's worth. So maybe Jing will in fact get the ace.
We'll see if he's able to do that. Making a lot of noise coming over here towards Heavenside. He's the
10
player in the
seconds
position to do it. Kiko, this is just such a favorable angle for the Omen, though. There's no way you check this as Jing.
جافوا القطاف.
Kiko probably dies anyway.
وين
Jing would
حتروح؟
have loved to have been the one getting
خمس
that
ثواني يا
kill.
عيال. استرجع.
Forsaken jumps straight on top of him. 2-1 for PRX. Another great start to a half here. Money will be broken for NRG.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will have had a sigh of relief after winning the pistol, but this is unfortunately going to be an emotional roller coaster for them.
Look at this again. The opening 3 coming on through. Mata just couldn't quite land it. And Jing ends up getting 4 off the back of this. Pretty gross, but more so than that.
That was a gorgeous arc rose from Divide, by the way. Blinds 2 players after they make contact with Jing and sets him up so beautifully.
Team play, perfect. And instantly shutting down the pistol even more so. Okay, getting into a nice hot territory here. Something judge in hand. Plenty of NRG players in front. All on pistols, so let's see where the cleanup happens.
Aggressive dash on in. Something very much just kicking his feet, running around with the judge, trying to get a bit of an anti-eco on. Envy inside of the site has a dark cover for safety. He knows that NRG are kind of halted up in tree for the time being, and the attackers once again will slow this one down. Not much to work with.
حلو
It's
لعبة.
classics and abandoned on Scuba.
بيركس مرة لعبة.
Low HP on Mata as well.
تسليم الاي.
PRX, happy to chill. See what energy are going to do here.
شوف يعني
Share covering
يبشي
over
شوي
towards
يقدم
Mound.
يحط غال خلاص يطلع.
Being
انرجي
mostly
غافل عند
open, but
الموضوع.
Divide will be checking
معلومة
that one
ايكو هم
in terms of his own contact.
بس.
A deep sheer wall over towards C Mount, as well as a one-way.
شوف
PRX.
يفيك انه ما في والي يعني لو في احد مهلد لو في احد مهلد شوف لو كان في احد كائن مهلد هنا يطالع بيخاف بيقول اكيد في احد هنا فما بيتجرأ يجي بيت الوالي فهمت بيلعبون هنا فمسلمين السي كامله وخلاص هاي شوف بي ويلعبون 4 الباقيين هنا حلوه الحركه منهم الحين بينجبروني شوف الكروس صعبه الحين في البايراند اصلا انرجي لو تبغى يحل الموضوع انرجي لازم ياخذ الماونت كنترول اذا بيلعب ديفولت بوش بي على خفيف اي وهذا المضمون للاتاكر اسلوب البرو بلاير اذا بيلعب ديفولت بيروح سي بي اي لازم ياخذ السي كنترول يمنعهم عرفت الاي مو لازم انك تاخذها عادي تسوي لها ريهيت بعدين بس خذ السي بعدين سوي ريهيت للاي خلهم يرجعون وراء في بيسهم فهمت في السبون حقهم وعاد شوف البي انت كيف تبغاها ولا ما تبغاها على حسب الالتيات اللي موجوده ولا دور غلطه فيها وافتح دور وقفل دور واترك السنتينل للسايت العكس كذا ايه عدا ذلك اذا بيلعب اتاك سريع عادي يقدر يصمل الاي فاست سي فاست بس السي متعبه فاست عادي يجيك سيت اب وانت هنا جالس سيت اب جامد تكنسل بتروح اي اللي في الاي قدم اوب ولا شيء ولا اخذ انقل عليك وانت اكلت خرا يقدر يلعب اسلوبين بس انرجي ايش الاسلوب اللي يناسبه انه يلعب السلو عرفت هذه الفكره الديفولت هذا ارحب يا ابو سعود الله يعطيك العافيه كثر خيرك جاك خير على كم العشر قفل شكرا لك يا ابو سعود
Haven't even had a chance to talk about the fact that something is playing on the operator here, and at some stage with the numbers in 2 versus 5, how badly does PRX want this retake with the op?
بخادم متر نايت ماركت ايش دراني زي كل سنه كل اكت متى ينزل نايت ماركت قبل الاكت بكم 30 يوم والله ما هو ثابتين مرات كذا ومرات كذا لا انت بس الله يرفع قدرك
فهذا
فهذا افضل اللي قبل مرات ينزلون بدري مرات كذا والله صادق. بالنهاية يطلع شيء ما يسوى الانتظار. شوف سبحان الله اللي حريص على الشيء في الغالب، بس ما بدي، بس احنا نتكلم واجد ما يجيك، لكن اللي ما يهمه شوف كيف ما عاد فرقت. تلقى عنده سكنات بس ما هو بينتظره ولا هو بيبغى شيء ولا هو بناوي يشتغل، بس يجي وانت اللي تبغى اي رفعه ما تجيك. شلبي بتسوي زراعة شعر لا اكيد عجبني، انا مصلع كذا كويس، صلع مناسبتني اكثر. اللي حسابه كل سكنه زي الرجيع يعني نظريه حتى كان قلت قبل شيء مجرد سوالف كذا هوايه فلسفه ولا ما صحيح. بس انت اللي يشتري سكنات حلوه بالغالب بتروح للسكنات الحلوه خلاص، لانه ما راح تطلع من نايت ماركت واضح، فادخل تبدا تجيك خيارات ثانيه. ما زال يلعبون ديفولت، بس ايش مشكلتهم؟ اسمعوا كلامي، اسمعوا عيال، انتم سمعتوا انا ايش قلت قبل شوي؟ ايش مشكله NRG؟ قاعد يلعب ديفولت بس ما عنده الماوند عادي، ترى PRX مره يلعب بيريتيك مره يلعب بيريتيك، بس بدف الاب في مكان، يا هو في البي يا هو في الاي. انت اذا ما خذيت هذا الماوند، اذا بتلعب ديفولت ولا عندك ماوند مصيبه، او السي كنترول سي لوبي، سمى اللوبي ماوند اللي هو نسميه ماوند عشان هذا. ليه الابدراف داش اوريدي انت تلعب باندت، الابدراف داش ليه؟ حكه ورا ولا قيم عليه بسوينج. اتمنى ذول الاثنين يتاهلون. It's been difficult for PRX to buy themselves into the retake so far. لا يا حد يلعب جد تجيب النغزة البلس. خليه ينطلق يسوي الحركات ذي زي ذاك التركي.
And they're taking a long time to get back into the site, but PRX have at least got some trades on in.
Well, Jingle, if we hear the sounds of victory, and we do from Arda. Big shots in, Ray's going well. Celebratory paint shells.
ايوه ساب تفهمني. ما تأهلوا صح؟ شو اسمه؟
Real success
او اعتذروا او ايش؟
Hey, PRX have also been wanting to place more of their own resources.
كم باقي على الصلاة؟
Trying really hard to find value on this operator. And the no-scope just is, unfortunately, it still gets the kill, mind you.
Well, it's just a bit of an awkward exchange at the end of the day, unfortunately. And Brock, even though he does go down, I think you're happy with the 1-for-1 onto something, especially because you've already been able to dump the steel guard and wrap around from Mata was perfection.
وين الجمهور؟ الظاهر في بس ما اتوقع كثير، زايد الظاهر ما في تجهيزات يعني، لان احنا في المرحله الاولى اتوقع الستيج الاكبر اما خاب ظني وهذا الجواب الوحيد، مرحله البلاي اوفس احنا في الجروب ستيج اتوقع هذا السبب، لان كثير يلعبوا بنفس الوقت. ايش اللي بيصير؟ انت كيف مستحمل تقعد 6 ساعات ونص؟ اوكي 6 ساعات ونص مختصر كلامك. طيب مش تعبان؟ طيب 6 ساعات ونص تعودت عليها. لا مش تعبان، تعودت. كنت في بداياتي ابث 12 10 المتوسط كان 8 7 كذا 8 ساعات يعني جيت العب، بس لانه الواتش بارتي مو متعب، القعده متعبه صح، بس انه المهلك لما تلعب اللعب متعب يهلك اكثر نفسيا، بس في الواتش بارتي لا، اذا نايم زين وماكل زين وشاي موجود والشات نفسيته حلوه معي ولا يرفع ضغطي، لا ما اتعب بالعكس، ومتعود بالبطولات واتش بارتي ما شفت شيء. EWC العام اللي راح بثت 16 16 ساعة كنت أشوف EWC كامل. السنة دي ما أتوقع إني ببث إلا فالورانت، إلا إذا لأن عندنا بتبدأ ستيج 2 المؤهل للشامبيون بنتابعه، اذا كان عندنا وقت فراغ نتابع ما اخذ اكسس عليه كلها حلوه. ما الله يحييك يا محمد، ما صرنا نسمع الارجيله خلاص عقلنا ما عاد نطلعها في البث.
Well, navigated by PRX, had a lot of cheeky positions. You saw Forsaken
خلاص نطفي الكام الحين. خالد انا مين جت فيني حكة الداش حقها لازم اسوي في حل. لا خلاص هذا ابتلاء ما تقدر. تمام ابوك. الدودة دي لازم تنكوي ولها طريقة يعني قوي بس لها اخصائي ونشوف نحجز لك موعد نكويهم ان شاء الله. عاد ما عاد تسوي داش الا على سنة.
Nice off angle. Pain shells and the paranoia not really connecting too much, but at least making Envy uncomfortable enough for NRG to claim the site.
Trying to do some damage on a Brock or even get a kill, but not quite there as Mara converts onto Forsaken. 2 left alive.
الدكتور اسمه أليكس.
We've seen PRX win a 2v5 before, but Divine should have to do a bit more than that. It's only Divine left 1v4 ultimate in hand, but what can he really do here? We know he can certainly get some shots in, but look at the money situation.
Yeah. NRG being very disciplined here. Both teams a little bit lower on the cash, so they want to maximize the guns and not give Divide any chances of completing this clutch, let alone taking more guns here.
يا رب يجيب انجل.
That's my question, because it just doesn't have the money to play with.
Fall back into spawn side. Hold on to the van.
نبغى تي اف تي السنة اللي راحت ما كنت أعرف ألعبها. الحين تبغى تي اف تي. والله نلعبها يوميا اوف ستريم يوميا. اليوم ما لعبت طبعا عشان البث، بس بطفي البث بروح العب تي اف تي وبتكي في روم كلاني في السيرفر حقي وبلعب. والله يحييكم جميعا. لازم يسيف طفران. ايه
well handled 4 versus 2 there, making sure the clutch is not going to be possible. So once again we find ourselves all evened up 4-4 on Lotus by the only gun in the hand. Let's see what the rest of the economy looks like for PRX after this.
تي اف تي ما ايش تي اف تي شخص ما يعرف وش هي.
Especially after something goes down right at the start of the round.
ما تعرفين تي اف تي يا العنود؟ تي اف تي لعبة موجودة في لول بكل لها لا نشغل حالها، بس هي موجودة ما تخشين لول جيم مود خاص اسمه تي اف تي، ميكانيك مختلف كل شيء بس شخصيات لول. يعني كان يقول لك فالورانت كان يقول لك جيم مود موجود في فالو بس ما هو نفس ستايل لعب فالو في ماب. ياخذون ماخذين شخصيات فالورانت بس مسوين فكرة مختلفة، منظور مختلف، استراتيجية. فهمتي؟ ممتع جدا. بس السيزون هذا الست هذا ما توفقوا فيه. نفس كلاش رويال اللي في الجوال بس بشخصيات لول موجودة وضاربة ولها بطولات. هي موجودة تي في كاس العالم هنا بطولة. تخيل أكثر لعبة أقدرها أوف ستريم. تخيل تكي ميوزك وطرب وتشلشل وشاهي ومويمن أقعد بالساعات. بس السيزون هذا ما يخليني أقعد بالساعات صراحة. يعني حدي 3 أيام 4 أيام ماكس 5 في اليوم وأقفل. قبل كنت ألعب 10-15 جيم في اليوم بس إذا كان سيزون حلو. الحين لا.
Has been pretty unsuccessful 2 rounds in a row. Something's Blade Storm, and then you saw that cheeky little play trying to go for the haunt scan. Have to maybe try to rethink the approach, maybe, especially with the Steel Garden. Move the Vice over to play retake. It's definitely a viable option. PRX have had a fair bit of success kind of fighting in the middle of the map and dominating C Mount.
علم قاعد المتعرف عليه.
Be an okay time for timeout for PRX as well. As they will recover some of their economy for that next round. And couple of ultimates are playing there. Showstopper I'm looking at. Both the Vices looking at Steel Garden here. Contact found. Divide. Okay, he's happy with that one. How much of a chase did NRG want to go on?
They've got really great
money, so
ما
ودي
أجاوب.
الستريم ما ودي خلها تبغى في ستريم.
Don't want to go through all of the effort and the trouble of digging up for Divide out of a fully set up C site. And NRG claim the lead here, 5 and 4. Only a couple of rounds left to play, and NRG have got plenty of money, they've got plenty of odds to play with. Really, the onus is back on PRX to try to conjure a little bit more.
يا اخوان جربت العب سي اس والله يا مليانه هاكات.
Opportunities there. Something like you said, not much to do, but
سي اس
a cheeky headshot would
ما في
have
لعبه
kill.
ما تخلو من هاكات.
So no timeout. PRX still. Again, really needs something out of this. Our economy is in the dumps and something back on the up. Half armors across the board for everybody. Can't even quite afford everything now. There's something would like a shot here. Dash ready to go, but NRG do not bite on the hook.
Second, peppering down at least one player outside of A there. Scuba a little worse for wear, but the regen shield will help him come back up to a little bit more of a healthy status as NRG looking to pick up the pace towards C here with the Nightfall.
Haven't seen much out of C for NRG so far, so this time they're going to really commit into it. Shit will slow things down. With the Nightfall in play, PRX fully respecting something is ready once again. Paranoia will be pushing players off slightly, but just no one in the sightlines. He will reveal the operator once more.
Yeah, still Garden's getting traded, waiting for the Raze ult to kick this one off in combination with the Paranoia. In goes the Viper's Pit from NRG. It's a pretty deep one to try to zone Waterfall away and make things difficult for PRX.
Here we go, showstopper Jing. That's the opening he was looking for, but doesn't see Marta. Despite being flashed out, Marta gets the kill, Divine gets the trade, so there is still a 4 versus 4 and against something. He wanted that operator kill for so long, gets it onto Kiko. Opportunity now, Envy onto Brock. 2 left, Scuba and Ethan to hold on, and they can't do it. Scuba needs to do a lot of work here, but something's got his number. We're back to evens, 5 and 5.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised PRX was able to put that retake together, given that the showstopper had 0 impact on the retake there. The pit ends up kind of working against NRG. I understand they were really trying to dig their heels into Waterfall and give themselves an avenue to play towards long, but unfortunately, it just ends up being a big smoke to obscure the fact that PRX are on the spike.
Lot of flash tears on, makes it easy for Divide to be able to get that trade.
Good stuff inside of the pit from something. It's not easy to retake into a pit with an operator, I'll tell you that.
Like I said earlier, PRX needed to make that one work, and okay, let's just get this one underway.
ايه كان اكسبنسيف راوند 3 التياز زي ما قلت.
Early control, playing off that smoke.
That's a classic set play from PRX.
والله الجيم ده حامل مرة.
Unfortunately not able to.
اتوقع عادي تروح اوتي.
Looking outside of A here, has Defiant something to contend with. Not sure if something caught a whiff.
الفايز
You see the ping come out, but
الفايز بيقابل فيتاليتي.
He's going to be able to skulk away.
صح.
As NRG start to work mount control.
من اللي فاز كيسي ولا فيتاليتي عيال؟
Clearing rather, and for a second doesn't TP out in time.
فيتاليتي.
PRX dropping their members over towards C. Now the wrong
has
to happen, Jing. Late to the party,
يا أخي حرام والله NRG وبيركس وفيتاليتي التوب يعني توب 3 من كل ريجن.
So far out of position here.
اثنين منهم بيتأهلون.
Back on into it. That is ridiculous from Jing. Waits till the last minute and respecting the boom bot.
Yeah, if he shoots the boom bot, unfortunately he just dies to Jing's swing there. So
يلا إن شاء الله بيركس وفيتاليتي يا رب.
Played by Jing. Makes the retake a little bit easier now. 4 versus 4, no ultimates though. From either side,
كويسين بس.
first. CT clear so far. And Scuba, like you said, on for the long flank. Wait for that activation, but he needs to get in position. Something big shot into Ethan. Divide gets a kill to block as well. Okay, 1 versus 1. Does he have the shot? Oh, Scuba's got to come in. Doors closed.
ليش تنزل؟
No, he's just got to give that one up. I'm afraid.
وانت تفتح الدور يا ضفعة.
Can't even leave the site. That door timing's wild.
It's perfectly played there by Scuba. Just tapping the door. Divide just endlessly waiting for him to peek, but never quite gets the peek that he was looking for. And NRG, nice open plant for them. I think Scuba was so far away, I was getting a little bit concerned he wouldn't have a chance to get involved in the round, but plays it perfectly in the 1v1. Forsaken, fortunately, out on an island there. I mean, yeah, that was PRX, it's crazy that they keep making some of these rounds so competitive because they were so far behind positionally after they lost Forsaken there. NRG was basically given a free C site.
There we go, once again, making similar plays here, but this time it's Marta going in on a 1 HP, he survives. Takes down Forsaken once again. Big trades happening still on Mount, 3 versus 4. Paranoia doesn't get as much as you would have liked, but Kiko will find Divide regardless. Now something has to find this next shot. Dash is about to fade away. 3 members from NRG is too many for him to handle.
Not much for MB to do there. Well
يلا بنعطيكم اعلان الهاف.
What a resurgence to get 7 rounds on the attacking side, given the fact that they get eco'd after the pistol. Really, really nicely worked. Can see why they picked Lotus into this series. And I'm feeling good for them, man. They're going on to defense now. They're playing Senti double controller. I'd imagine that they're going to be quite pleased with themselves.
Starting to really win things over towards that mound side of things as well. These last 2 rounds, winning these controls. And something, he had a couple of the op kills, but not really dominating the map or controlling the spaces he would have wanted to. Like you said, the big recovery from that second round is really the story for NRG. And we already saw their ability to recover on Fracture. Unfortunately, the deficit ended up being a little bit too big for them, despite the fact that it took a couple extra timeouts from the PRX side to even dig in for that 13th round here on Lotus. Finished that first half with the lead. Feeling a lot better about their chances. Feeling like we can definitely go to a map 3.
It's up to PRX here. Another pretty close half. More than serviceable, swapping back over onto this attacking side. But they have had a change of ENIT. I think that does kind of help them in some regard. The fade over the sky will help them, as I mentioned before, kind of work the map. It's why it's a very, very popular choice of initiator. On Lotus in particular, on a lot of 3 main lane maps. Because you can just solve any question mark that you need to by throwing a prowler. You need to take B main, throw a prowler. You need to take C main, throw a prowler.
واللي ينزل مقطع أو صورة في الميم وهي ما هي بميم يعني مكانها الكليبات حقت الجيمنج بيتبقس بنعطيه سجن.
Like to play that mimic this kind of raise, fighting into a vice that's going to give you some problems on the dive, less problems than if you were running something like a Neon. But even Viper Omen, going to be troublesome regardless. Though we're going to have fisticuffs here over A Rubble right off the bat.
We'll see how PRX manages this situation. 4 members for NRG on their side, and one scan already out onto Martyrs. That location has been revealed. Wall's going to slow things down somewhat, and Martyrs just taking util damage from all angles. So is Brock.
PRX not liking the way that A is feeling right now. They've taken a little bit of a chunk out of Brock and Martyr, as mentioned. So I feel like they kind of win that exchange to some regard. Martyr taking a little bit of a risk, looking for information, punished by something to give PRX the opener.
And PRX slowed down, walked back a little bit, then re-entered. Now NRG are interested once more again, so the wall to play off. Door tagged as well. Brock, reminder, one of the low HP members.
All of NRG are here though. PRX ready for the swing with the Paranoia is excellent to make them very uncomfortable. Paranoia back in response for PRX. Very much fighting for control of Rubble here. This will definitely decide the pistol round. Scuba with 2 into a 1v1. Can Divide clutch yet another pistol for PRX. Swing in from Scuba is beautiful, and a 3K to give NRG yet another great start to a half.
A big celebration from NRG as well from their side of the stage. Second pistol picked up in this map, and question now will be, can they actually convert that into a string of wins? That second round eco from the first half still in the back of everyone's mind here. But obviously, massive trades back and forth over towards Rubble, the re-entry from PRX as well. But a 1v1, Scuba takes away from Divine, who's been so sharp today in the series. And Scuba showing, okay, I'm still good.
PRX with a couple of upgraded pistols here on the eco. Divide can't do much against an outlaw on an angle like that. Up inside of the progression dark cover here. PRX wait for the door to close before they make their next move.
Yeah, Marta's already basically cleared over towards Mound, relieves pressure away. NRG starting to rotate. Now the opening coming through. That is going to be Paranoia. Dodged out. Kiko would like to hit some of these shots, get some damage in there. Forsaken on 1 HP. And now they're just waiting for Kiko to see if that can be a kill. Ethan looking over towards the left, but doesn't quite manage to get a shot into play. Jing cleans up. Scuba gets Jing down, and now over towards the drop. Just back and forth. 2 versus 3 now. Still plenty of damage, even if PRX lose the round. The wall they lose the round. Now they probably will.
Yeah, brute flank from Brock at Scuba. It's coming in tandem. I mean, the Lemmings made it into the site, and they had teeth, man. Actually took a couple of guns away from NRG. They were in pretty good positions to just shut that down outright, especially with the easy opening peak over on Mount side. But well, PRX do a good job keeping it interesting. Put themselves in very annoying positions. I mean, you can see them kind of tucked in under drop here. That's not easy for Ethan to clear.
Yeah, frustrating death for Ethan on that one. Well, the rest of the players in a good position to finish things out. No shenanigans from Forsaken or anybody else. It's the last couple of plays alive for PRX. This is one of the biggest deficits that PRX has seen for quite a little bit.
Very close on the C's laid there. Almost had multiple players caught on the side of NRG. They dodge it nicely up behind their Viper wall, and now an immediate pivot back towards Mount for PRX, but that's where I'm having a look at this Vice wall. Going to be a little bit harder to break through that.
So Boombot Prowler Claire coming through from NRG. Make sure no one was there on rubble. That allows now Kiko to move over.
Nice orb. They've got the Paranoia in the right position here, but Brock's only got a Spectre and a lot of work to do. There's the burst into the site that I was talking about, the TP up on top. Not necessarily ideal for Forsaken, and these are some awkward duels being taken. A lot of players here for NRG, but PRX finally break through.
Okay, Ethan Amada. Okay, they're really getting some good damage in. There's something on basically 1 HP here. Which is a big flank. PRX weren't ready for it. And now something is just going to end up potentially saving this one. He's just... Well, he's a 1 versus 2, but the HP situation is rough. He's going to go for a potential long flank. Still got just barely enough time.
I mean, that could seriously work out. I don't know how tucked behind the box Marta is. Ethan's ready for it, though. Very much clued on. And that's a 10th round for NRG. Bonus converted. They are running away with Lotus right now.
Yeah, this is looking fantastic for NRG. As honestly, before the flank from Marta and Co came on through onto door, it was looking PRX's way for quite some time.
But that's where you look at NRG, not only the Vice tech with the wall, but also just how annoying they were being for PRX to kind of isolate and hunt down inside of the site is exactly what allows for that door open to be so impactful on the flank. If PRX had made it safely into the site like 5 seconds sooner, that's probably their round.
Well, PRX facing the pressure now, will be taking a timeout. They are quite in the hole in terms of the round deficit so far. And a 1v2, that's something really would have taken a lot for him to win that one. And heads up play by Ethan to consider the fact that he might be getting long flanked. And as these rounds go by, it's looking more and more comfortable for NRG, and the likelihood of us going to a map 3 is starting to look really real.
Expect nothing less from this series. PRX have very much dug themselves a hole here, though. Coming out of this timeout will be on a half buy on this attacking side, where it feels like they're getting shut down more often than not by NRG, who are playing an excellent game here. Very well-rounded performance from pretty much everyone in the server as well. Like, no one is really lagging behind.
From both teams, really. No one's, as you say, really running super far ahead like Divide was on Fracture. Odin out for Brock this time around. Something feeling himself on the Marshall. Seen him do some magic on that before, but here we go. Omen versus Open first and foremost. Does that Prowler actually get a bit of a sightline? Maybe.
Nah, Forsaken tried to dodge it, and Kiko saw his cape going inside of the dark cover. Unfortunate. Disgusting off angle here from Brock. This is what we know him for.
And that Prowler certainly will be able to see Divide revealing the Odin through that wall as well. Bit of a clear coming through. The rubble side from Envy.
Marta. Outlaw out yet again, looking to farm himself up a showstopper. He's halfway to it. Little taps on in will make a big difference in getting a rocket going a little earlier on. Something over on the other side of the map. Sees the sheer wall. Dash active.
You can tell that shot put the fear into PRX as well. Okay. Tap the wall.
I have the spike.
Trigger the orb as well. Just wait this one out, slow things down. 40 seconds left to play through, end on C. Playing pretty far back is going to be Scuba and Rourke.
Yeah, quite happy to let PRX come to them. Only Sheriffs and Marshals in the mix here as the Paint Shells tries to clear out Pillar side. They will be able to at least make it up onto the site and maybe even get a plant here, but how much more success can you really conjure as PRX?
Well, they got to go for that plant sooner rather than later. Big damage! Brock finds his mark onto something. Inside the smoke, no problem. Scuba on the Divide as well. Now Jing, yeah, just see if we can get a kill here or two. Help the economy.
Nice tap. Also building himself up a showstopper. One off now, courtesy of those 2 Sheriff shots, but NRG will complete the retake nonetheless.
11 found. Remember that 11-5 that we saw on Fracture the other way around? Well, PRX on the 5 end of things. NRG was able to make a little bit of a comeback. PRX, after that tack timeout, we'll need to think about where this gun round's gonna go.
going into their attack timeout, there definitely would have been more so chatting about the adaptation and heading into this gun round. So let's see what they've prepped up here. The half buy is one thing. Plans may have changed, especially when you're considering the orb control. You're now one off two pretty big ults here for PRX.
Yep.
It's up to NRG to kind of deny those orbs.
Operator in hand. Something.
لو باك ارجع والقى
Keep
NRG
going a little bit more. Good spot on a
ارجع والقى NRG يا
Just
رجل
Trex knows where he's going to end
يا
up being
رجل.
in that TP.
It's just a flick one tap.
فيكم
Devastating to
PRX.
lose your smokes on the attacking side 5 seconds into the round. Just a disgusting
شنو
shot from
صاير؟
Kiko. And anything that you discussed on PRX is very quickly getting much more difficult for you.
Yeah, it's going to have to end up being relying on the cloudburst smokes or relying on that nightfall now as Dubai is under pressure. Oh, he's lucky to survive that scenario. In fact, he was looking for that kill.
I'm surprised he almost got Mana there. Honestly, had no business doing anything at that point.
البطولات لا تنتهي متى تلعب إذا ما في بطولة والبطولات تنتهي وفي بريك بين كل بطولة وبطولة أسبوع أحيانا شهر بس اللي في نص السنة هي اللي تو ماتش EWC بعدين الستيج بعدين عندي 10 أيام بعدين شامبيون بعد الشامبيون في بريك
It's about to be 12 for NRG. PRX kind of in the pit at the moment. This was
أوقات ألعب
terrible
فيها
for them.
بس ما تحضر أنت الظاهر يعني زي قبل أمس بثينا ولعبنا فعموما خليك في اليوتيوب شيلبي كليبز قناة ثانوية هنزل فيها إذا لعبت
We just speed ran Fracture straight to Lotus from the grand final really. We skipped the other 3 maps in the middle.
لأن القرف
Time this one out. PRX, it sucks
عموما
to be in a position where you got to save on this round to give the 12 over to NRG.
Especially after the
الجيم ده ما قدرت أشوفه زين.
Brock entering with the Odin. A little bit of a jiggle for Ethan there. They're well aware of where Envy is, and he won't make it away with the operator. So something will be a little bit more empty-handed. And PRX, they've got all of the ults, but none of the money up against map point here for NRG.
That round went from bad to worse with no recovery on the op. It just starts, like you said, you lose Forsaken like 5 seconds in, smoke's gone, something trying to make something happen over on towards B and just gets dropped from behind, no chance to recover there. And they're basically on 5 ults.
I mean, that's the kind of round that NRG does though. I remember that America's like lower final, I think it was, against MIBR, where every round just feels hopeless. You get spammed.
Okay.
In goes that showstopper for Jing.
Let's see if we can find some hope. Jing really looking for it, just gonna have to throw that rocket out. Lots of ultimates being played in, and something again just doesn't really add anything as Ethan drops him almost immediately. Brock on the other side of that door, spamming on through. Jing made his way onto site, but they're just losing members. They're just continually losing more. NRG are gonna make this one look easy. 2 left, down to 1. Forsaken versus the world. And despite the rocket going sideways, NRG is the world. Forsaken can't even run. 13 and 5. NRG clapped back.
التصويت
Really
نفتح
nice
تصويت
recovery
ما
from
بدري
NRG. I feel like they were definitely competitive in that first map, but rough starts to both of the halves. I think they very much showed their quality here on Lotus. Both halves definitely look like the better team, and PRX a little bit sheepish, unfortunately, showing some of that map-to-map inconsistency that we just saw over at Masters London.
Fact that says RRQ on the top. That is in fact PRX defensive side.
NRG
attacking. Kick it off over towards shops.
Is it the third and decider map here, opening up the group? Winner will go on to take Vitality, I believe, in a qualification game for the playoffs.
حاطين RRQ لا ما حدثتوا أنتم حدثوا ما راح يكون RRQ يا ولد والله مو RRQ أنا اللي حاط العنوان أنا اللي حاط العنوان مو RRQ.
Massive coverage. It's going to be Dubai hiding behind the high tide and
هم غلطانين هم هذول ايوه احسب يقصد بثي اي ذولي باليوم يجيبون يا رجال حتى النتيجة غلطانين فيها يجيبون العيد اي اللعبة غلطانين يلا شباب يلا التصويت ترى تونا نفتح اللي ما صوت الحق.
Hiding away is going to be Kiko and he's completely shuts down 2 members of PRX. As soon as they spot in 4 versus 3 now, Brock all the way in the back. Forsaken doesn't even get to move, and Jing nothing in response either. Falling apart as PRX NRG another pistol, 3 pistols in a row going their way.
Yeah, really nicely worked there from NRG, just keeping things simple. Creep up in towards A main, throw up the Viper wall, Sober Dart and dash on in, and when they recognise that it's a retake setup for PRX, they choose to even take a step forward. That is a big strength of the Harbor in combination with the Viper. Originally, we used to see this over on Icebox, where you're kind of segmenting the walls.
لا نافي لا نافي ما جت ما لا ولا فنتك.
So being able to kind of further extend that control. PRX a few more troubles on the
retake going forward. سليق يقولوا لي مخلينا كنت بعد البث في مطعم تعرفينه باستا. ولا انت اللي مصلحتها؟
Yeah, two marshals. I mean, this is pretty common on Breeze, but PRX in
لا
particular
بتسلميني
here
لا
have a couple of upgrades to try to keep this one interesting.
أشوى مطعم باستا. مع إني ترى ما أفهم مطاعم الباستا.
Walking into something. He's been waiting for this opportunity. Buying up as well.
نفسي.
Given that's
جاوب يا خوي. معليش قاعد.
The pistol going towards the NRG side of things. Very sort of look at the trappers. Well on the door side of things. Jing and Envy. Dodging out from the Viper Molly as well. This could be very interesting. Should get checked though. Two players there. Envy is the only one that actually gets somebody on the PRX side of things.
اسال المدير الشركي.
Both of the marshals here to vie on the rotation over something not really able to do too much as the Viper wall goes up. Takes a chunk out of Kiko.
ادعي لي طيب يا اخي ادعي لي. لا تشتغل عليك سوالف ترفع الضغط. يعني اوكي اعرف انك تطقطق والمزح له حدود. بس يعني عليك سوالف تزق في النفسيه والله. والله ما تعرف تسولف. خلاص دامك هذا مو مزح. مو مزح متى بتحقق اهدافك وتتزوج. كني انا اللي انا رافض اني انا اتزوج يعني يمديني اطلع على الحين اقول يلا ابغاك يلا جينا. خلاص قلت بالعكس هو الهدف الاساسي السعي اني انا اتزوج ذي السنه. هذا الهدف الاساسي. نمبر اول شيء ابغاه. تدعي لي انه يصير. قل لي متى يتحقق؟ قلت 3 مرات. شنو كيف يتحقق؟ إذا ربي رايد إنه يصير. أنا اللي علي قاعد أسويها فعل بالأسف. هذا ذلك مالك إلا تدعي.
Yeah, Forsaken's first deaths just keep going up unfortunately as the light armor gets a little bit lighter now, not in a good way for PRX 5 versus 2.
والله العظيم.
You know, a map and a half ago I would have said maybe still winnable for PRX. Devi can certainly do it, but now the way this is going, looking like 3 in a row for NRG.
Yeah, they are all over this. Just keeping things pretty
simple
here.
تجيب الطاري ذا لو جو راح تقدم كان تفتح مواضيع تزق في الكبد والله العظيم. اوريدي ذا الموضوع انا منكد عليه اقسم بالله. عاد خليني اتكلم.
No trades either. Heavy investment on that second round. Double marshals being brought in.
آمين آمين أجمعين يا رب لنا ولكم ويوفقنا وياكم ويكتب لنا النصيب الطيب.
Tail tucked between your legs for PRX. They even hold on to a couple of rifles here.
It's the best possible start for NRG, honestly. Like, the cash is already like 2+ K on all of these players.
أقسم بالله العظيم تقصدين هو اللي أنا هذا اللي أنا في بالي لأن هذا أنا أطلب منه والردي عندي هنا.
So that's what we saw in Fraction, but the opposite side around, right? I mean, we just saw the fact that you get those 5 in a row, bonus converted as well. After PRX wins the pistol, they got both the pistols on Fraction now. 3 pistols in a row. Haven't seen anything come through from PRX. As the timeout coming through super early.
See what they want to kind of construct around these 2 rifles that have been kept through from the opening gun round. Might be some marshals or sheriffs to be invested in. Maybe throw a shotty in the mix, especially if they want to contest a main or something like that. Up to PRX to kind of pick themselves up. This has been a false start here on Breeze so far. NRG are looking pretty locked in, really running through with all of the momentum they garnered from stomping PRX on Lotus, and Breeze looks like it's heading in much the same direction.
I mean, it really did say it earlier on, but it kind of feels like we're speed running the London finals in a way where get a very resounding win on Fracture that this time around actually kind of gets a lot more competitive, and then slowly but surely throughout the rest of the series, and this time just in a BO3, losing momentum from PRX. Confidence seems down as well. Some of those magic moments you get out of Fracture, you're just not getting anymore.
اقسم لك تستهبلين.
I'll see what they come up with here.
بقفل. والله العظيم انه استهبال.
I think the objective starts to move, especially when you have this good of a start on the attacking side from, you know, being able to string rounds together, being able to break the money to how many can we kind of chip in early on here.
ها اقسم بآيات الله لو اوريك شيء.
Forsaken really going to go for a guard in here.
بس تم التوصيل. هذا الأخضر أطلب منه، طحت فيه قبل سنة طحت فيه، وأطلب منه في الشهر حول 3 مرات 4 مرات في الشهر، لكن الحين قاطع لي شهر ما طلبت. خرع عليك. أطلب منه فوتوتشيني الفريدو دجاج، اسمه فوتوتشيني الفريدو دجاج. وحط الجبل واخذ البوكس حقه كذا وشغل.
Makes NRG a little bit nervous that they will be taking some space over there, and sometimes they even just throw down that wall and then just play towards the mains.
يلا نرجع
الجيم عشان ما يزقون really doing their due diligence, working their way through the map up. Elbow drone goes into middle.
مواضيع في الشات الله يصلح بعض الناس. يقلب المواجع وانا ما ابغى يقلبها. طيب يلا بسم الله. شوف NRG 3-0.
See anything on the opposite end either. Time is running out. NRG have barely made moves. It's confusing PRX a little bit.
I think they're making the right call here though. Just dropping off Scooper in the middle for the late lurk. He's able to play in front of this.
تقول لي انا كلي جاهز.
NRG too much as they group back up towards this A site. Similar to the pistol, it's just going to be to buy retake. The rest of PRX have cleared all of B, but the execute's going to get in a little bit faster.
Full flash and Devi isn't able to get anything. Forsaken once again. First death, very unfortunate. Brock will convert onto that lone player of Devi who can't respond at all. And Devi had one of the only rifles.
Yeah. Something with naught but a classic.
Okay.
There you go. Picked up the Vandal.
شوف والله يقدر.
This one a little bit more interesting.
يعني
2 players cripplingly low on the side of NRG.
Always winnable.
Offsite here as well. They do get smoked off. Gives a little bit of opportunity for PRX. Who, with their guns available too, one being picked up by something. It's playable, but isn't not anymore.
They will save.
Yeah. Gotta save. You really got to min-max your money when NRG has this much cash. Like you've got to be able to guarantee yourself as many gun rounds as you can get access to, because there's no breaking the attacking side economy anymore. Forsaken looking for some damage here at the end. Oh, sorry, Jing. Some damage here at the end of the round. Stand out by the KO knife. I do imagine he's probably just going to go down to the spike. Doesn't feel the need to force the issue. He's trying to keep NRG interested so that maybe one of them died to the spike.
ايش رايكم في حركة؟ ايش رايكم في الحركة ذي؟ ان اللي يموتون من السبايك، شفت حركة اللي يموتون من السبايك؟ هذه اللي يسوونها. يسوون حركة فالو، يخلون إذا مثلا أدمك 100 وصار 40 مثلا، واحد مدمجك 20، لو مدمجك بمولي وال فينيكس لمسك لمسة، أي أحد طلق عليك طلقة كلاسيك وعشت بس رحت إيكو راوند زي كذا وتموت. إذا انفجر سبايك يحسب من اللي دمجك أكثر واحد دمجك ويعطيك الكل، يعطيه الكل. عرفتوا؟
Instead, it's going to be rifle-centric game fate for
يعني most damage.
Opener with the utility here. Keiko gets sent in, then wrapped back
ممكن
into middle
يكسر
here for
مشروع
NRG.
هذا.
Not going particularly well
يعني
so
معنا
far. They've really tried to cause a little bit of reaction and a rotation in the early
شينا.
round for PRX,
بس أنا أسألكم بس.
they still end up a man down.
مرفوضة.
Haven't seen PRX in the first spot in some time now over the course of these rounds. It's Kiko trying to dive on A and being punished for it. Devi onto Brock as well. Okay, numbers starting to look really comfortable for PRX. Will still be a plant coming on through, but a 2 versus 4 now. No ultimates in play. Plenty of money though, so NRG happy to get it done.
Scuba on the front foot. Nice placement of the Viper orb here. Ethan could set him up with a nicely timed flash
الله العظيم مهما ضعفت ما زالت اللعب.
For a little bit of a play here, something well and truly ready for it. Just down to Ethan, trying to do some damage to the economy of PRX. Fragment. Got to keep something at arm's length. Forsaken's made it up onto the site, and Forsaken just just pushing straight into the fragment. PRX getting themselves their first gun round here.
هلا شغال عليكم السلام يلا هيا.
Until Ethan wasn't ready for that. Something pushing.
إذا اثنين دمجوا 40.
Leaves with 6 HP. One of the few times now that we're
لا تعقدها. آخر من دمجه الأخير. آخر من لمسه. عاد إذا اثنين طقوها بنفس الوقت القريب. إذا المسافة نفس الشيء عاد التفوق. جي كراش ذا جيم.
NRG trying to go for one of these set plays where they set up the jet for success in the early round with a little bit of the double unit utility.
نفس الوقت نفس المسافة عاد.
A wrap into middle in the mid round to catch some of those rotations.
You want to see the
ما أدري إيش أقول. عليك. سلة التحصيلي.
Has to be a little bit concerned about the dart.
Same for Keiko though, and he's holding this line nicely. PRX punished in the opening kills department yet again, and NRG with a man advantage.
Really expensive there, unfortunately for PRX.
PRX شاكين إنهم ممكن يلعبون جهة البي. طيب.
Playing off a Forsaken together.
شوف اليو ار باورلس.
is going to cause a little bit of issues here.
هايلو
responds with more flashes decent, but Kiko doesn't care. That's going to be A taken care of. 4 versus 2 again. Once again, you have to look at the money side. Divine and Envy, how much do they want this?
It's locked out of it, really. The high tide only just went down. Envy's going to give it a little bit of a sniff, but Devi is just sitting in nest. I don't think he's
لا حرام عليك، ظلمت التيم. ترى ذي جو كمباك في الهاف الثاني وأدوا وفازوا في الماب الأول. إيش دخل بيركس مو بيركس؟ ترى NRG مو بسهل. هو واجهة أمريكا NRG، هو اللي كويس في أمريكا كلها. مو سهل.
Really just going for damage though. I don't think he's particularly interested. Dart on in to keep NRG at arm's length.
بس حسيت يعني.
That's what he was going for the whole time. Really well worked.
إنه مو الكل دخل في الأجواء يعني صراحة.
He'll be able to hand that to something in the next round.
يعني فورسيكن أوكي تمام. ديفاي في الليلة. something في الليلة، بس صراحة أحس جينج وإنفي لسه ما.
Wouldn't be surprised to see NRG.
أبي أخذها NRG البطولة. ترى من البطل حق EWC 25 في فالورانت؟ تذكرونه؟ يلعب. منو؟ تيتش يا سلام عليك. أنا ما ودي أكثر شاي وأنا على جوع.
So we'll see what they want to go going for here. It does seem like they are going to choose to go to the other side of things. Back to B.
B's open. Nobody home. Late Storm, you called it. Will be popped this round as well for Kiko. And yep, full retake on B, I'm afraid, for PRX. Something might catch a little bit of a whiff of a player. Oh, it doesn't quite land the shot though. That would have been a hard one to land for sure. Kiko on the other side would just completely rip away Envy. 5v4.
Yeah, awkward exchange. Tried to go for the drone. Envy under a little bit too much pressure there. Drone from Brock does spot out that the flank will be coming through from PRX as he meets up with the rest of the team on site. And NRG have flipped the map. They are in defense. It's going to be a very difficult retake for PRX.
PRX now got to execute like they're the attacking side instead. At least their smokes are still online. Brock has a decent line and a decent shot onto Divine. Numbers are now looking sad. As something is just going to peel off in a 1v1. Marta, nice, okay. Makes things slightly better for them. Maybe just playing for the exits now.
Yeah, 100%.
الله الأب معذبهم.
But at some point you've got to stop saving and start getting some rounds. Jin covers that smoke push from Scuba well, but that's where the good news really ends. 6-1.
البطولة الله العالم الله العالم اللي عند الله سبحانه، بس الأقرب زي ما قلت لك أنا. PRX NRG دول اثنين وأرشح أنا فيتاليتي. نعم.
Recovering up to 4 would be pretty good for them at this stage. Because this kind of deficit is rough to make a comeback from. They are still going to have the weapons to play through, but I hear you, man. At some stage, you gotta stop saving. And I think this next round coming up might just be that one. Another timeout coming on through. Plenty to talk about for PRX to recover.
أتوقع يمديك تطور تطور أسئلتك إيش أتوقع يعني أتوقع إنك ممكن تطور من أسئلتك كذا وتحاول خذ دورة في تطوير الأسئلة والأخذ والعطاء والسوالف. حاول ثابر عشان إيش إن إحنا ما نخسر بعض يعني.
The attacking side op has been having some pretty serious impact. Like Keiko has been finding opening
يعني أقول إذا أنت ما قدرت تكسب خلاص تضيع ما تعرف تسولف يعني إنسان طبيعي فالحين أبغى أسولف أبغى أفتح موضوع مع أبو خالد.
Things around here. He hasn't had any impact on the neon. It's usually a pretty good agent, pretty good map for him.
It's been a rough couple of maps. Like I said, that first death stat line is a bit haunting. When you look at a guy like Forsaken, you certainly expect more.
سؤالك يثبت ذا الشيء إن كلامك صح.
And a massive turnaround for everyone on NRG. I mean, Marta had a rough go of Fracture, but now that feels like such a long time ago. For NRG winning this the way they are is pretty shocking for PRX and a shocking day for Pacific in general if they can't pull through.
Deep ball on mid here once again for PRX. One way thrown into A main, very much trying to play disruptive. And there you go, wall dropped on Kiko and something gets the opener. Marta replying with the operator picked up from the jet though. He is pretty good at wielding this gun himself.
Yep, I've seen him on a jet before. Familiar territory, the op for Marta. Reckoning available here as NRG will play this one quietly. Let's take a look at Elbow. How much does PRX want to move up?
برضه
Envy knows he's kind of just in the Goldilocks spot. Not too hot, not too cold. He's just sitting tight.
أقول والله
ready to disrupt this pivot to B if necessary. Something on the other side of things has still got this A main info line with the operator, and Ethan got to spot that out. Well aware that the jet is sitting right there.
البيس شوف لو اني مكان انرجي صراحه ولا حلو عيال والدفاي اوكي قفل المدور وساعد كذا تبغى تركض مد يعني تفايت مد بسرعه ونفس الوقت يحتاج البي لو كان في
Smarter and Brock, the operator changes hands once again. High tide coming on in, 3 versus 2. 17 seconds left to play through 2v1. Envy, he's not been spotted just yet. Might have brilliant timing here, but needs to be able to get through undetected. And he can't do so. NRG again. Big celebration from their side of the stage. Collecting that 2v1 victory, extending the lead even further.
Yeah, nicely worked there for NRG.
إلا
Finally, when PRX are able to find an opener, immediate reply from
اقرا العنوان وتعرف
NRG just able to simplify a lot of these rounds and use the double E to the best of its abilities. The KO9 slotting out where the operator is, and then they just place in the utility right where it's needed.
الله يعين
put themselves into a winnable post plant.
اللي حواليك
7-1, massive difference in rounds.
طيب الاسم ما ادري وش ذا EWC. اوكي كاس العالم للرياضات الالكترونيه EWC هذا كاس العالم بس للرياضات الالكترونيه. طيب والحين بدينا في فالورنت بعدها تخش في الالعاب كلها. هذه ثالث سنه تقام دي الايفنت هذا وثاني سنه الفالورنت.
Yeah, drone out onto the middle line. Fury ripped by Envy, looking to try to further extend the numbers.
أنا ما أخذ أكسس على كل شيء بس ما أبغى عندي له شيء غير بالو. لأنه بنخش على الستيج 2. نتابع الستيج 2 المؤهل للشامبيون. يبدأ بعد الفاينل حق بالو هنا 3 أيام. بشوف ما قررت الصراحة إذا بشوفه ولا بكمل EWC. ما حددت لاني قاعد افكر اسوي نفس العام اني ابث فالو لول اوفر روكيت وكنسل الستيج المؤهل للشامبيون.
Avoided something with the perfect high tide.
Yep.
I mean, if he had a little bit more HP, I thought he would have put together a 1v4 there.
Starting to look dangerous, that's for sure. I mean, he hit low HP, but just the ability to get past the early 2 players and get those kills.
I mean, we're past
ترى احنا شفنا الستيج، احنا شفنا الكيك اوف وستيج 1 ما تابعناه. اللي طاف شفنا البلاي اوفز، شفناه بسكاي بلاي اوفز، ما شفنا السويس. بس يعني ما هو بشيء انا عودتكم اني اتابع البلاي اوفز. بس الإي دبليو سي يا اخي حماس والله. ما ادري ما قررت، خلوني اقرر على هوني تمام؟ بنشوف. لاني انا صراحه يعني
should be an easy one, but I don't think Forsaken's got a bite. Something has been playing through mid multiple times now.
يا اخي والله يحمس الإي دبليو سي يا اخي. والله لول العاب الحماسيه يعني اسمع شوف الشطرنج زي العام شوف يعني الجدول في طرب. تابع كل الالعاب وشوف منتخباتنا العربيه اللي مساهمه. يعني ما راح ازق في كبوتكم الالعاب المنتهيه زي TFT العام اللي شفناها ما مسكبها كود فكك بسكب امها. الا اذا كود السيزون ذا السنه دي جامد اللعبه بس شفتها انا ما بشوف الالعاب الحلوه. يعني انا صراحه افكر في فالو لول روكيت ليج اوفر واتش ايش في العاب بعد حماس شطرنج ايبكس الوارزون حلو CS الوارزون حلو
just a little bit of a shoulder to play it, and that shoulder converts into a Brock kill. Divide will be good for one, but not good enough.
إذا كان في لاعب عربي في الفيفا مال الفيفا والEFC شو اسمه هذه EFC صح؟ إيه
Fantastic attacking
لا
side
بس ما
here
راح
for
اشوف
NRG.
الملاكمه
Really putting
والتلكيم
PRX
وتي اف
under the
تي،
pump. If they want any
مع اني
chance of
انا
picking
يوم
up Breeze
قدمت
here, they need
خذيت كل
probably both of the next
الاكسس
two
على
rounds, let's
كل
be
الالعاب
honest.
كذا تشك تشك
Don't need
تشك
that.
تشك
No need to win the
تشك
pistol
تشك
anti-eco
تشك
in the
كلها
second
تشك.
half. I mean, the fact that Emmy gets one here, look at the possible lineup. Nearly had the secondary, but just couldn't quite get the head of Rock.
There's just too much to do though. Like you're playing as a Sova against a full execute.
Yeah.
ايه لازم اكسس.
Look at the double outlaw.
اوريك الجدول ده الحين ونقرر.
Just trying to clean up these low HP sheriff players coming through PRX. Forsaken overdriving his way through to victory. That'll make things hurt a little bit for NRG, who, okay, numbers actually going the way of PRX here, and they've recovered at least one outlaw.
واسمع احمد، لو صادف يعني جت في الاي دبليو سي احيانا تجي اسبوع 10 ايام ما في في الاي دبليو ما في بطوله ما في لعبه مثلا منتهيه مثلا ما نخلي نشوفها ولا شيء، خلاص نحول على نكمل نكون مثلا في مرحله البلاي اوفز في المؤهل للتشامبيون كذا نتابعها. انا اوريدي ماخذ الاكسس، فهمت علي؟ والمباريات الحماسيه مثلا المباريات الحماسيه يعني شوف اذا وصلنا مرحله البلاي اوفز اسمع يا احمد، خلي المرحله الاولى للسويس ستيج، اما هي سويس شهر بعد شهر يلعبون 10 ايام بلاي اوفز عشان نشوف من يتاهل من كل ريجن. هناك بلاي اوفز بنشوف الايام الحماسيه اذا كان ما في فريق جامد في الاي دبليو سي حدث فريق عربي وكذا. ما تدري حتى انا احب اني اتابع بالو، انا احب.
It's a recipe for success when you have no money to work with. Now if they could just pick up this gun round towards the end of the half, it's at least doable.
So Sheriff's in charge of this town. Forsaken overdriving through, delivering a couple of nice early kills, starting to give some weapons over, putting Brock on 10 HP.
فعادي ترانا مرة مرنين في الجثوث، لا تشيلون هم. الأكسس وقدني خليت الاثنين كلهم كأس العالم كله وذاك كامل. اللي ذا نحدد لو كراش تبغى. بس انا اهم علي صراحه الالعاب هذه فالورنت، لول، روكيت، اوفر واتش، سي اس، هذه اساسيه. الاضافات ايبكس، شطرنج، اضافات اذا تبغون ندخل ولا رحنا لعبنا ولا رحنا تابعنا بالو ستيج 2. انا داخل الحين انت تتابعني في اليوتيوب يقولون عن الشغل الجيم في حته ابو خالد في حته تونا في البدايه تقول لها
Reels in the last 3 members. Forsaken is the one that bites, but Ching is the one that actually gets to chew up the last player. And now suddenly 2 rounds in a row, PRX building back the confidence, building back the economy, building up the potential.
موجودة بالاي دبليو سي؟ لا احنا قاعدين نشوف تلبيس فله والاقزام السبعة من اللي قدامك والعنوان كبر جبهتك اي دبليو سي وجيم فالو.
No pun intended. That's a really nice hold from PRX.
كيف تضغط على جبهتي مكتوب العنوان البث اللعبة فالورانت والعنوان EWC.
Who has only had a couple of little moments so far in this game of Breeze.
That's كأس العالم ذا ما له حس لأن هناك مو بهني.
PRX needed both of those rounds towards the end of the half.
Yep.
And now it's
خلنا نعطيكم إعلان الهاف يا عيال.
NRG is still going to be feeling confident here.
PRX still in it to win it.
جاكم.
Need to see those
والله العظيم إن أخلاقي حلوة.
Saw the kind of
insane
rounds, insane kills that Divide got in the first 2 maps. Clutches he had on Fracture. Insane sheriff shots he had. Top of A on Lotus as well. And now late in the day, what an incredible eco they win with only a couple rounds left to play through. Forsaken showing up when it counts as well.
Yeah.
Overdrive and play to sort of deliver that one over. But otherwise, NRG in full control of this map and in the position to win the entire series.
A little bit of momentum in towards the tail end of that last half though for PRX. They need to really embody that. They'd love a pistol here. Start to close the gap in towards this second half. Start kicking things off on the attacking side. This is where particularly playing into the comp that NRG is piloting here on Breeze.
Yep.
You're really going to be put through your paces. Harbor, KO, very disruptive comp. It's going to be coves, you know, one-ways, things like that. The Storm Searcher try to deny that kind of A main space. The KO knife really directing the flow of traffic and gathering information. And Ethan is a bit of a master on this agent.
He's thinking deep. Man, the screen there, leading the charge for NRG. After a rough start in the series, game is in their hands, ball is in their court. Did say though for PRX, they would like to finish the first half with at least 4. They got that, and now I think pistol basically required here.
Yeah, here on the B stream, we've already had one victory for Americas over Pacific. We are staring down the barrel of another. It's up to PRX to change that narrative. Both teams kind of peppering shots down range in middle, and I'm surprised no one walks away dead from that.
Yeah,
so
a little bit.
Complete disengaged, and PRX pick up the pace into 8.
Some damage done to players, something, and Marta the ones that actually get shot there, and Brock. See if he can find somebody through that smoke. Not going to be the case, but everyone's basically arriving now. Just waiting for Scuba to come through for spawn as well. Something up first. He's half HP, but it's MV and Jing onto Marta and Brock. Numbers good for PRX. Spike plant to come on through. Now NRG. Let's see what else they can do. Nothing so far. 5 versus 2 now. Kiko doesn't even get Divide either.
Scuba. A little bit late to the party here. Never even got a chance to get involved. A flawless pistol for PRX. Full momentum coming in from the end.
على الله بس ياخذون البونس باي كويس. الباي والبونس باي يفتح النفس. اتوقع في احد منهم يكمل بس.
6 and 8 now starts to feel if they get that round.
6-9.
A lot more doable. Then we're seeing the danger they can have on the bonus as well based on what Fracture is.
اوكي 2 بيستل واوتلو جارديان وبولدوغ.
This round though.
لانه واحد بيستل كافي. لا والله راحوا يعني بيطلعون 2 فاندل نكست 2 رايفل. يلا ان شاء الله يجيبون. خذوا كنترول اللي NRG الحين مع كنترول اللي وحشرهم. يعني
Most of NRG have taken that A main space courtesy.
بس NRG ليه ما بشت كامل؟ ليش واحد مد؟
Scuba maybe found the side of Forsaken for a moment, but it's all down to Marta to see if he can fashion even one kill. Nicely timed Storm Surge, but that's where it ends. Another flawless back-to-back for PRX as they win their 4th round in a row.
Kiko showing off his dance moves there as PRX walks in. Double flawless as mentioned, plenty of money in the bank. They could afford to really buy up here, given the amount of players on PRX that still had pistols for that round. Could be a very dangerous looking bonus coming on through in terms of economy.
See what NRG come up with. Gap has closed quite substantially. Cannot afford to let a team of PRX's caliber back into a game. It's going to be the flash to set up the jet for the pick here early on in combination with a little bit of a shocky onto door.
ليش طلع بولدوغ؟ لأنه يدري الجيم الراوند اللي راح فيه اوتلو، فكي يحتاج يطلع فل شيلد. فل شيلد قدر يطلع بولدوغ. ما له داعي يجي توب.
Bulldog, so somewhat reasonably competitive buy in terms of this bonus.
For sure.
A little bit of exploration coming through, mid under control for NRG. As NRG start to sniff the fact that it could be a B, and that's exactly what it looks like under pressure now. Scuba, he's paranoid out, but hiding behind a box. There's no contact just yet to be found. I mean, this is a scary moment for Scuba. The rest of the troops are still yet to arrive. Starting to come through from spawn now, as Marta and Brock will be up. A couple of kills here looking good so far, and Brock is really delivering now. PRX not getting as much out of this push as they would have liked, but Divide into 1v1. Viper versus Viper. It's Phantom versus Outlaw, but Scuba's already tagged down. See if Divide can find that shot.
زين غير بوزيشنه.
Scuba with the spike in hand here. But kind of dance around.
30 seconds left.
PRX are well aware that he was anchoring the side initially. He was spotted out early on. Wall going up for Scuba here. Divide. Sheriff in hand creeping up on the line. Doesn't have a primary weapon to be using. 15 seconds on the clock, and Scuba is all over this tunnel flank.
Oh.
Reading this one very well.
Is he? Yes! Managed to get back in there, timing extremely well. As
بعدين صراحة ديفايد فلسف فيها. أنا ماني عارف رجعت للإلبو ليه.
He might have turned away at the wrong time, but Divide.
إذا راوند رجعت للإلبو ما أدري. يدير إنه باك سايد. خلاص خذ معه فايت 50-50. ما عاد في تايم. اللفة ذي طويلة ما عاد فيها تايم.
A dangerous bonus coming through that could be very competitive. Ends up in a 1 versus 1. So despite winning that one, very curious about the money situation for NRG.
Yeah, definitely a lot of guns taken away from them. Able to at least deny that bonus.
ما شرحت لك عزام.
Judge on in here for
تجيني آخر البث.
So just trying to scrap together a buy. Both teams started to run out of money early on.
البثوث القادمة اسألني من بدري. طيب بداية اليوم أول ما بث.
Towards doors got a lot of damage there.
أزعل وأنا فيني طاقة.
Looking for a pick with the Outlaw over towards this B side of the map, and indeed Scuba is low on armor. There it
Big
is.
shot.
الله يسعدك.
Scuba down. That is B. Almost open. Still player there in Brock. But just putting the pressure on numbers-wise to keep things interesting here as we go back over towards mid for PRX.
Invi taking space on B, causing a lot of problems. The judge is still here towards mid doors. That should be an easy opener for Kiko, who's under a little bit of pressure. Tentative now from Jing, pushed away by the fragment.
Paranoia. But Amada still gets Jing, and now Brock as well. Envy, you talked about him exploring over towards B. That might be the opening now to play on through. And NRG know it as well. Trying to cut off something here, and not going to get the time to get that cut off, actually.
Yeah, NRG on the wraparound through elbow. Spike has not gone down yet for PRX. Envy is on the push all the way through spawn. Something planting in a safe location here as Marta creeps up on him, caught by Kiko as well. Ethan is ready for this flank from Divide. Great read on this round from NRG. Envy last player surviving, and they know that he was deep on B. Cove onto the spike. Marta taps it, and they're giving him nothing. Nice opener here. 20 HP. Half has to come through. It's going to get a little bit of chip damage onto Marta, but it takes way too long to go through that cove here. Marta's off the spike.
ليه ما يدفز؟
Gonna start diffusing.
مستفز.
From Keiko.
عندك زق شيلد. كلب كلات يا شيخ.
2 players there from PRX. Really far away from helping something, unfortunately, as Envy that is
ما أحب النوعيات الخرا اللي كذا.
all the way in enemy spawn, but doesn't quite have the HP or the time to do much more. And it starts out okay. We talk about the 1 kill from something onto Scuba, but beyond that, that mid doors causing issues for PRX as they couldn't make their way through that at all.
عندي فيها كل.
NRG very much on top of the rotations.
لا أنا ماني زعلان
in
أنا.
a pretty
بس
complex
صدق
round.
يعني غابني.
PRX
أنت برو بلاير لو إنك في الرانك أبزعل فما بالك في برو بلاير. أنا ما أبغى نخجي يفوز بس عقلية ووسخة. والله ما ألومهم كلهم أطفال أصلا أعمارهم كم. بس هذا عمر البرو بلاير.
Maybe the low buy of PRX can still find some value here for Forsaken on the
تاخذ واحد من تاخذ واحد عمره 30 يجي يعطيك نصايح شيبان في نص الراوند. هذا تمسك يجل.
Very dangerous buy for NRG to be dealing with here. PRX with a lot of weapons that could do some serious damage. This Outlaw is the main crux of the issue, though, and this is a fantastic angle for Keiko.
See if PRX are ready for that one. No, not quite. Oh my god. Doubling up. Exactly what you want to see on the Outlaw play, and now PRX, they're turning. Fast lane didn't even really do too much in terms of utility, or otherwise I guess Kiko just sees over the top of everything either way.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a dirty off angle over the top of the Viper wall. Not much really to be done. These are great positions for NRG. Like, they're really just out-positioning PRX. Preempting any kind of aggression. Spike dropped out in the open. Outlaw is still on the line if it's even needed. And something...
والله جرلت تيمك ما يترقع مو انه سيء بس NRG احسن. PRX يحب يندق اول جيم شكله اوفر اول سيريس. لا خله يندق ينزل الانيميشن ويسترجل تحت في الانيميشن.
Forsaken towards the end there. Finally,
ايوه
طيب 5-4 rifles on PRX.
متأثر خالصين منها.
See what they come up with here.
يا رب يقلبونها. أتمنى بس يكادوا ما باليد حيلة. مو بأنه مستحيلة يا أخي. في علم أنا ما اختلف معك في علم. بس يا أخي صراحة NRG سابقة بخطوة. شوف كيف قاعد يلعب NRG. شوف يعني هذا متسلم. اللعب ديب برا في البي يعني. بس حلو سمك تبعه.
As we set the table now for A as well, it's got to be
ما عمل تياس الدفنة.
Double poison orbs being played on in, but something has already made its way on
فيها ترى فيها. وجاني ريد مين؟ أوه هيوج ريد يا ولد.
Shut Kiko down 5 versus 3 now. Seems like NRG ready for the front. Scuba has to drop off.
It's a bit of individual brilliance from something. Finds a really nice timing for those two openers. Open plant for PRX who are playing this from yellow side, and I think NRG are just forced to save.
Okay, save one.
I mean, they have the money for it, but the numbers don't look good. Marta's already on the other side of the map. PRX clinging on to this map in the series so far. 7-11.
تقدر تخلي عدد أقل الريد
NRG
عشان توقف الريدات مثل هذه.
2 more rounds required.
أقل.
Still got 3 guns. Everyone's still got plenty of money.
من ذا كيف يعني أقل؟ تقصد إن أحط الليمت؟ ما أعرف.
Darted to spawn side.
ما أعرف.
I cannot believe PRX are
بس ما يطلع عليه.
exiting here. They do not have much money. It's a big lineup for Ethan that takes 2 guns away from them. Scuba on the off angle now. Tested by Envy. They are losing all of these weapons. They cannot afford this at this point in the game here, Kev.
Yeah, it's NRG that have plenty of money. Even if NRG die here, look at their bank. It's good. PRX are like throwing their lives and their guns away for not a lot of gain.
I don't know why they exited
شوف
full side there. I
أعطيك
gotta
رقم
be
هاشم.
honest.
لا
Maybe they were concerned about the flank towards A main, but the dart confirmed that NRG was playing on spawn there. So definitely not ideal, especially when you're trying to come back from such a deficit here on the attacking side. These are weapons that you very much need.
كنا
happy with that. Doubles up with the bulldog.
وقفها.
Doesn't even care if he dies because
خرع عليكم. زقيته في كبده.
amazing.
خرع عليكم.
A blaze storm up though.
الله.
From the side of NRG. And something got some magic to play with the wall.
ها الله
Yes sir he does.
يخليكم تقابلوا الناس مثلكم ولعن عشان تحسوا بدمكم ويعملونكم نفس الزقاقة. الله يا رب يا كريم.
What can Scuba do? He's alone at the moment playing on the other side of the wall.
يعملونكم مثل زقاقتكم. صاحب خاب هذا مشكلة.
Has a freebie on to Brock.
بيجيك صاحبك هو صاحبك ذا صاحبك هو بيسوي لك نفس.
PRX.
That's 2 rounds in a row where something just multi-frags for PRX and puts a round together. Kiko coming on the lurk, but that is a gorgeous little high-low for
سبحان الله بيركس يوم متسفل فيه يسترجل يصير صح. خلاص لقينا الحل يا جيرالت ما له مالكس يوم انه يعصب. تدري ما اتمنى يا رب ما تصير لكن حتى لو طلع بيركس ما بزايتي ما يعني قدك طالع من سيناريو دمار. يعني انت فهمت الفكره بص لك اياها. قبل شهر طالع والشهر قبل 10 ايام طالع من سيناريو يوم 21 30 9 ايام 10 ايام 11 يوم 11 يوم 13 يوم 11 يوم خرع السالفه اللي هو
could definitely help them out quite a bit. But their biggest issue right now is this man. Something has been phenomenal at just self-sufficiently finding these openers for PRX, and this is exactly the player that you need to start to get warmed up here. Going to make a comeback on attack.
Look at the confidence when he doesn't care. He's just going to run after Ethan. He needs the money as well in terms of not dying, but
على كيفك هو.
Whatever. Run after him. Drop that rifle away from Ethan. He's beaten the timing for some of the U-tools as well.
كذاب ذا نصاب بعد راس امه. ما ترد والله بدون حلف لا لا تطبك. لا
kind of a similar story.
بعض الرسائل توصل لي ارد عليها بعض ما توصل لي اصلا.
It's going the way of PRX. It's kind of night and day
لا.
to the PRX we're seeing on the rest of this map for the majority of these rounds.
ورد تيك توك.
Very slow start for them.
ورد انستغرام واحيانا ما
working their way back into things now.
لاني ما ادخل التطبيق اصلا.
Still more work to be done.
وبعضهم عنده من يرد عليه.
Eyes are on NRG post their timeout to make a nice little adjustment. A couple of times this series they've already been in some rougher positions, and at least this time they're front running before the timeout's needed.
بعضهم يطلب مني المستحيل يقول لي كلم غير تجيبوا لي غير كمبري. اقول له سم طال عمرك ايش تبغى بعد؟
respectively could give PRX a lot of problems here, but the pick could be fantastic to set up one of these post plants. Device been holding on to it for quite some time.
Big shot, Kiko makes his mark found, shut down the big
carry of
PRX. That'll cause some problems.
اشوف الحين من جوالي.
Absolutely. Scuba on the
ما ابغى اقفل الريد. لست تتعاطى. ليش اقفل الريد؟
Both teams just trading out a little bit of utility, a bit of pressure on this B side. Destroy out a big rotation here for NRG, and Ethan on the other side of things playing very safely, not a toe out of line. Even if PRX make their way into A. KO Knife has scouted exactly where they're headed, and like I said before, there's some very big ults here for NRG with a man advantage to close this round.
كان بالغلط من عندهم باشين اي او مسلمين. لان معهم كيو هاربر قلت يلعبون شوف جاني لا شوف تحت.
Shing's gonna rip his ultimate out just to reposition on site itself.
Should be the pit going down here, and indeed it is. It's a pit for Brickside though, not actually on the site. I think they very much understand that the reckoning is going to be a problem here.
واسطة والله مو واسطة. أنا أصلا مكنسلك أنت مكنسلك إيش؟ أنا يلا أتحملك في البث أكلمك واصبر.
Hunter's Fury coming in, Envy shoving away NRG ever so slightly, and I don't think he actually got a tag there, unfortunately. Here it comes now, Reckoning push in. The entire squad right behind it.
Into the deep.
For second trays on the Brock and
ماشي
Envy as well on the Scuba. It's looking fine for PRX so far, but Ethan has something to say about it. 2 versus 2 now. Ethan low HP, Kiko, operator on this retake, doubling up as PRX together. Time is starting to run out now, and Envy with 4 this round will deliver the 9th for PRX.
Yeah, that's very clever pit placement there from Divide, making all the difference. Both of the ults burned through for NRG there post-timeout, still not able to walk away with the gun round, even after something gets picked early on. Been a big difference maker in a couple of these gun rounds. They're still able to navigate their way into a 4-on-5 where NRG had all the information, numbers advantage, all the ults, post-tack timeout, and they still lose the follow-up gun round. That is rough.
5v4 as mentioned, but they gave up sight. Full retake. You'll say they've got ultimates for the retake, but they ended up not really getting rid of the pit at all. And Hunter's Fury from Envy as well to slow down that retake. And at the end of the day, 2v2 goes the way of PRX and NRG. Feel the pressure of PRX nipping at their heels now.
Yeah, this is another timeout here for NRG. 2 rounds in a row. This is very problematic indeed. I think whatever was said in the initial timeout here, how much work can Scuba get done? If he does get a pick and cleanly is able to get away here, he can potentially drop a pit and buy some time. But PRX diving into the site.
Yeah, high tide coming in, good timing coming through Ramada as well. That'll buy time for Brock to arrive as well. And soon, maybe Kiko to follow through. Slow going PRX is trying to make their way through the back left side. Still haven't found Scuba yet, by the way. Forsaken though gets Marta out of the way, and Scuba finally activates alongside Brock. Bring this one down to a 4 versus 3. Still no plant to be heard of at the moment. 50 seconds left to play through, and PRX, are they committed to this?
Yeah, for sure they are. This is a localized 3-on-3. Ethan's inside a middle. Envy gives them the advantage, at least on the B side for the time being. Kiko down to 50 HP right since day dot. Something's found Ethan inside a middle. Kiko trading one back. Scuba hiding inside of his poison orb here. He's trying to be a little bit cheeky.
30 seconds left.
And Kiko sliding through that dark cover. PRX with 2 frags in quick
succession
to get themselves double digits. How many rounds in a row is this, Kev?
A lot. We're about to find on out. It was starting to look like a nightmare for PRX before, but in the last 5 or so rounds, they have been waking up. Opportunities here abound as they just get both the last 2 plays and the 2v2s. I mean, this is like the magical number.
Yeah.
2v2. PRX winning those.
I mean,
handedly.
Pretty consistently, NRG are up in numbers, but then when we head into these awkward post-play situations, PRX are just making the right moves in the mid-round to be able to kind of outmaneuver NRG, who are now out of cash.
That's it. This is like the first time NRG are really out of cash for this side as well. They're making some moves now. Led by the flash coming through from Ethan in mid.
شاكين الحين متوترين الفريز اللي قاعد يسويه PRX قاعد يدمرهم.
A Scuba. I have to play a retake here, buddy.
Yeah.
القن الوحيد عنده سكوبا.
They've been kind of hammering his sights more often than not. I think he's probably getting pretty sick of it at this point. Phantom in hand. As the drone goes forward for PRX, he's going to tuck himself into the site. Forsaken, very much hot on his heels.
Oh my god, okay.
But there's really not much left in this buy here for NRG, despite yet another man advantage.
It's about as well as you can do. Getting the double up there is pretty nice. And overdrive from Forsaken now to clean things up. Something on Kiko, 3 versus 3, but again, the money and also the guns all the way in PRX. It's not a bad shot from Ethan, though. You respect it. Now you're on for the retake for real. 3 versus 2. And he still has an ultimate to play through, but not positioned for it at the moment. Despite the lack of guns here, NRG moving together as a team, and Envy doesn't quite land the shot. Bit of a whiff here, Envy another opportunity, and Brock finds it. Gets a double, and NRG, despite having like no money at
ليش
all,
تردد؟
they get 12.
Envy ليش تردد؟
You expect them to be putting together. They're not quite able to do it.
Envy تردد ليه؟ Envy بوزيشن حقه بالراحة يذبح إيثن، بالراحة ومغمض. خاف على طول رجع على طول ما فكر. والضفعة فورسيكن ايش يسوي هناك بنيون؟ خلاص العب مع خويك. يا ليت اللي يعطيك امل ويقتل اعصابكم لو انك منهزم من زمان ذكرني بدياركس.
I mean, it really does a lot. I mean, that shot was gross.
Yeah,
Ethan hitting that one is probably the round winner, but I think that wouldn't have mattered as much if Scuba didn't get that first 2. So the combination of there, if it's
Bro, the presence of mind to know that he's on the off angle up on top of Bricks. Quick one to start here for PRX. Trying to be shut down by Ethan's KO knife, but PRX going to push the issue into A.
yeah, KO.
Yep. Flashing on through. What can we find here? Mata on the Jing, but not really seeing much else from Ethan's POV. Doesn't matter though, because it's still a 5v3. Mata's making good work of this defensive so far. My God, Mata. Making a triple here. Envy taken down as well. This might be the end. PRX have got one left. 1 versus 5. Divide with all of the work to do. But NRG will not be undone here. You feel like the 13 is there. He's revealed. Divide with the secondary. And a 1v3 here. This has to be an ace clutch, buddy. It's not going to be anything less than that. NRG can taste the victory. But can they get this one cleanly here without Divide walking out?
He's trying to slip away. Putting the wall up and down to keep them interested.
Fia.
Able to pinch the spike, but Scuba trying to stay one step ahead of this pivot back over to the B site. Tucks himself nice and safely into elbow with 40 seconds on the clock.
لا يركض في المد لا يركض.
Viper versus Viper. Might have just made a little bit of noise there. Scuba calls the troops into action. Here's the footsteps for sure by now. Planner's got to come on through, and the timing should be good. 1 HP goes down his ear, and NRG clean things up. Puckett saw it coming. He handed me the USA card, and that is indeed the victor today. PRX falling, Pacific falling in general, and NRG